2, 1. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Today is Wednesday. It is April 7th. It is approximately 7:08 on a beautiful evening here in El Paso. It is hot outside, but it is a beautiful evening as always, guys.
Beautiful hot ass day.
Co-host of the podcast, Mr. Misa is with us. Say what's up, Misa.
Yo, yo, yo. What it do?
Also, guys, in the producer chair, Mr. Wes from Watch Out Loud is here again. Say what's up, Wesley.
What's up, Wesley? Baba Booey.
All right, guys, for episode number 70, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, we have special guest, sports reporter, sports anchor, Mr. Wil Herren is here with us. So what's up, Will?
Thank you. Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate this. This is good stuff.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Did you see how his voice changed?
Yeah, dude.
From like pre-show to like on show? That was cool. That was fucking dope. Hell yeah.
Well, when you're on air.
Right. Yeah. Jesus. Hell yeah. All right, guys. So episode 70, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You guys are not subscribing, but some of you are because we're up to 225 now, but some of you aren't. And I need you guys to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know each time we post. And also, guys, Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and a review. So
Hip thrust that like button.
thrust it.
Thrust.
Boom.
Just grab
Push that like.
right,
You
guys.
like it.
So
I'd like to break your fingers off if you don't.
there you go.
There
Yeah,
you go.
threaten them too sometimes. You gotta let them know. Hey,
You got to be careful saying that. There's a weird fetishes out there. So they may
like
not
poking
do it on
fingers.
purpose.
make him over, break my finger.
They're like, Will, break my fucking finger, Will, please.
Cool, just sign here.
Will.
Sounds like Will's starting an OnlyFans, possibly.
ASMR channel.
All right, guys.
That's not a bad idea.
So we got a good podcast for you
Speaking of
today.
ASMR.
We're gonna do we're gonna get into it with Will. We're gonna also do a overrated, underrated, properly rated at the end. We're also gonna do 5 random questions. But before we do all that, guys, there's a tradition unlike any other, and it's called the cracking of celebratory.
Release the Kraken.
Hell yeah, that sounded great, guys. Cheers to y'all.
Salud.
Thank you for being here for another podcast, episode number 70, guys. We've made it all the way to 70.
70
episodes.
already? Jesus.
And with all that being said, I'm gonna indulge.
And still together.
This is my 4th one. I'm already done. Tired of it. Just kidding.
Oh
This is my first.
That tastes good. Take another drink, Misa. There you go. Hell yeah. All right, guys. So it's a Wednesday evening here in El Paso, Texas. Last Sunday that passed was Easter Sunday. So happy Easter to the podcast. Happy Easter to all of your families, all your loved ones. I hope you guys had a great time, had a safe Easter weekend. What did you guys do? Wesley, did you do anything for Easter? My pigmently challenged friend?
Hey, you remembered the proper way to say it. Pigmently
that.
challenged.
Yeah, well, that's why we had to put like some shit behind the background.
Yeah, because I'd blend into the wall. I did literally nothing. I redesigned the rest of my house. Basically cleaned up and then worked on the new studio a little bit. And that's about it.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I've never been like all that like excited about like Easter or anything
What?
ever.
I was as a kid.
Right.
He is risen.
Yes. Dude, okay, so
It took 3 days to respawn.
you guys
somebody fixed the lab.
Susan is there.
fucking wrestling.
You were in the
He's on the
gulag for
board.
3 days, brother?
Right.
All right, guys. So, Mr. Will, what did you do for Easter? How was your Easter?
I don't know. You're speaking of a pigmently challenged, man. I look like powder on the camera. Goodness gracious, man.
Somebody get the makeup guy in here.
We need a white balance or something. Golly.
I'll get in front of it.
You'll fix this in a pre-edit, right? Post-edit? There we go.
Post-production, I'm going to add some color to you.
Thank you. I need it.
Make them green.
Look like I have cancer, lymphoma.
And we thought like maybe like being in front of this black
No,
thing
God,
would
no.
work.
No, it was worse.
Yeah, dude.
So, how was your Easter, Will? What'd you do?
It was good. It wasn't too bad. I had to work. I photographed for Rachel Phillips, Australian reporter. She's awesome, but she's a lot of fun too.
Right. So, you spent the day working at the news station?
No, well, so we don't go in as much as we used to,
Right.
especially during the pandemic, obviously. And I'm like a field hand, so I rarely go in unless they need me to anchor or I got to be there.
Right.
So she's not from here, and I knew that it would be bumping. You remember Marwood Park?
Yes.
It's like a food park now or something like that.
Right. Yeah, Braden Abood Park. That's after.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but for us, it was always Marwood.
Right.
Wait, they changed the name?
Yeah, they did.
I live right near there.
What the fuck did they
Probably
change
like
the name?
within
Well,
the last 5 years. I
Avery
would say.
Aboud, like
What?
I was there when the Aboud kid passed away up on the what was it, Cloudcroft, I believe.
Right.
It was actually Super Bowl Sunday, and I remember he went down off the path and ran into a tree, and that was the
I
miracle
remember.
child. I believe that was like the first child they were actually able to have. So they've done a lot of good with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They have like
and-
a 5K run and things like that.
Oh yeah, yearly
Yeah, most
now and
definitely.
stuff. So
Yeah. So yeah, of course we remember.
It's Marwood Park.
That's where
Yeah.
they used to have like the powder puff games back in the day.
oh yeah.
That for
You
the
wouldn't go to
people-
watch
right.
the game, dude.
So
You go and fight
for
someone.
the people that don't know what powder puff is, it was like you would get like the girls from like opposing schools and have them play football. And there was no football being
No,
played.
no. There was always one on each side that went way too hard.
Yeah.
yeah.
Take it too real.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
who you watched for.
Right. Yeah. So my Easter was cool. It was chill. I spent it with my family. We did the whole Easter egg hunt thing.
Did you find any eggs?
No, I didn't find one single one. I'm terrible at looking. Ask Lena. I don't look for anything.
This guy went straight to the kitchen and opened the fridge.
I was
Good
like,
place to be.
I was like, do you know what I found? A nice cold Bud Light. So
This
that's
guy
what I
goes
was doing.
Win.
This guy goes to Home Depot looking for eggs when he goes grocery shopping. That's how bad he is finding them.
I was like, can you tell me where your dairy section is?
Yeah,
Dude.
Easter eggs.
I took my kids and we're at my father-in-law's house. And he was there with all his cousins and he's only 4 years old. He's about to be 5. So all he's looking forward to is like opening and eating the candy.
It's the good time.
Yeah, it's just a good time. And he goes and he opens one of them, one of the first ones, and then like it's a $10 bill in there. And this guy starts crying, like just cry, like ah! Like, all right, kid, here, I'll give you this Snickers and I'll take that 10. And it worked out, man.
I'll give
He's
you
happy. I'm
20
happy.
pennies for that one $10 bill.
The kid was like, hell yeah.
And then
Heavy.
I found one myself, and then I opened it and it said, "I owe you." And I was like,
Oh, every time.
All
You're
right.
talking about Easter's like last year, my Easter, it was Corona time. And so
Right.
like everything was shut down and people weren't supposed to have parties and get-togethers and things like that. So I got a phone call while we were doing stories on things like that, that they're having a big celebration on the Far East Side. So I show up there with Brianna Chavez and I got the camera on my shoulder and all these people start taking off and running inside houses and things like that. There were so many people that were blocking cars. They were blocking
Jesus.
driveways and things like that. Like they didn't give no trucks.
It's crazy because
Well, that was the time where like Trump was saying like you're gonna be able to go to church on Easter
Yeah, right.
and see your family.
yeah,
No.
dude. And it's crazy because like a year later, like my family got together, like we were like together, like it was old fucking days. You know what I mean? Most of us have our vaccine now, so
Yeah.
that's good. But
Marwood Park was packed.
dude,
with
I'm sure,
people.
dude, that was always like the go-to
Kickball,
place. Take your
baseball,
kids, right?
volleyball, grilling out, kids looking for Easter eggs and stuff like that. It was wild.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little hint. You should probably definitely do a story on this because I'm sick and tired of it. And I told Chris and Misa about this. There's a little bit of a flea market happening on Country Club.
I did it on this weekend.
Oh well,
Yeah.
He's part of
It was-
I don't have cable. I'm
I've
sorry.
done 2 stories on it, as a matter of
But
fact.
no, like it literally took me 45 because I live at the end of Country
And
Club.
your trip,
Took me 45 minutes. Just my parents live in the middle of Country Club. It took me 45 minutes to get there. And then
it's wild. So like before, like when you were talking about, they like just, okay, like it's in this little plaza, like shopping center type thing. And so people are trying to cross the street in order to get to their cars where they park because there's no parking. I mean,
Right.
it's packed. It's like 130 vendors. Like it's wild. So
Jesus.
you got to cross Country Club. Country Club's a busy road, especially
Yeah.
on a weekend. And
one
stuff
lane
like that.
each way.
One lane each way. It's like you said, there's this old viejo out there with like a sign, like tied onto like a cardboard box. It was like, oh, and like a little vessel. I was like, this poor guy's going to get killed. Like, oh my God. I'm like praying for this dude as I'm driving past, like, vaya con Dios.
Like,
He blessed his ass.
Yeah. And then I think the next weekend, then a cop with like a whistle and everything like that. Like doing it for
Like
real.
all
So
professional,
someone
yeah.
called, thank God. 'cause-
why didn't they move that
Well-
shit over to Sunland Park
Well, okay,
Mall?
so no. It wasn't. No. They didn't move it over to Summerlin Park.
No, I
Mall.
said why don't they?
I want them to.
No, I know, but what had happened was these guys were the guys that were originally out on Artcraft, all those food trucks, and then they started getting mass complaints, so they decided all of us let's move to that spot on Country Club.
But the thing is-
that's the worst place. To
But
be.
Circle K, like, because it's
I did a
actually a
story
Circle
on
K,
that.
and they actually built like an area for them. They put rocks
Right.
down and built it for them and gave them like a designated area.
Right.
And I'm just like, do you understand what this road looks
Okay,
like?
yeah. So hold on.
might as well just do it in the middle of I-10.
Hold on.
Yeah,
So
a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
before we get into Will's story, and I feel
I'm
bad
sorry.
because we didn't really properly introduce this guy. Will,
Sorry.
just tell like everybody what you do like as your profession, so they know that you're credited like with these stories that you tell.
Oh,
Go to his farmer market. That's what he did.
It's I gotta do. They know me way, but well, I'm born and raised in El Paso, Texas. Fresh graduating class from Franklin High School. I went. My first attempt at college was at a TAG, and then round 2 was at UTEP after being in the military and stuff like that. Excuse me, sexy. And then I became a multimedia journalist. Got the degree and started working at KVIA. I was an intern first. So I did like a year there in the sports department. Loved it. Worked my way in. I was working for free so much they had to start paying me. So they made me a photographer. And so I got to really learn that way. And I learned more about everything that way. As
Look at that sexy man right there. God
where's his jawline? Looks like his neck swallowing his face. Bro, I got a thumb on my shoulders.
Dude, you know what's funny? So we've had Keenan Willard on. We had Keith DeMolder on. And when we talked to Keith, I asked him, hey, do you know who Keenan Willard is? And he goes, how could I not know the best jawline west of the Mississippi?
He's smoking hot.
Yeah, he's a gorgeous fucking guy.
And he sings like an angel.
Okay.
Yeah.
We talked to him about his music and shit, and like he's like Keenan's done so well, and like we really like support him, and like he was the first guy from the news station that actually like hit us up, or not hit us up, but like I messaged him and then he came through. Oh, yeah. So it was cool. But like we're starting to talk to more of you guys.
Which one has it?
Well,
give me a list.
Well, so I'm not going to do that because I still want to.
I'll make that phone call, man. We'll call. I'm live on the radio right now. What's up, girl?
Obviously, when we reach out to people, not everybody responds, but like I reached out to you like in a day, and like the next day we're fucking doing a podcast, so that was cool. But let's talk about that story about those food trucks that relocated. So you actually did some reporting on this, right?
Right. So after I became a photographer, then I became a reporter, sports anchor, sports reporter, everything else. So again, originally, like you said, you guys are right. They were out there at Artcraft and Upper Valley.
Right.
And the problem was people were parking in the parking lot where the bank was.
Right.
And where the students were. Exactly. Yeah. They were leaving their vehicles. They were leaving trash. They were leaving bottles. They were doing all kinds of things like that. So from what I understand, GECU is not on the record, but they did. The people next door to GECU told me that that's who called the police and informed them that, it was bad because it was getting kind of bad. The issue was they were parking like right there on the actual levee. And like, to me, I'm looking at this thing, I'm waiting for this levee to break loose and everything just kind of tumble over. And like anything could happen, especially with like loose dirt and stuff like that in the sediment in that area. I thought that was dangerous. And then people running back and forth. Plus it was kind of making it a problem. So what they did is they found that spot that you were talking about there by the Circle K.
Yeah.
The people that own that property, that Circle K, are the people that own River Run Plaza, which is where they're at now with that
where the shops are, right?
Bingo, with the
Hello Pizza and
exactly.
that what's that bar that's there? Flips, yeah.
Right. So they set up their food trucks there, spoke with the owners of the property. They said, we need to make sure you keep it clean, you keep it safe, and you have to give them bathrooms. So that's what he did. And what they ended up doing is putting up these big like generator lights and like they didn't pave it, but they put like those rocks.
The white rocks, yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of turn it like a parking lot type thing. And they just filled it with the food trucks. And it took off.
How many food trucks are we talking about here?
20 at least.
Yeah, I've been there.
And go.
And
Thursday, Friday is when it bumps.
Whenever I bring you guys in for one of my shows, we'll all walk down there from my place and we'll go check out the whole. It's awesome.
Do we have
I keep putting it them and not me.
Do we have to walk?
I mean, the parking is always taken up, and I live right down. Right. I live like
hey.
Misa,
10 yards.
Look at me.
Away.
I can use a good walk, dude.
I was saying it for you, so you won't be the only one.
You were looking out for me.
Yeah. You're gonna need the walk after you try everything. Right. The only one I don't trust is sushi. I don't trust sushi.
And then you know what I also realized is
or a gas station.
Remember, like pre-COVID, like across from the Chili's on Mesa. They used to converge there. Right.
That's the picture I was showing right now. And it was on Bartlett and Rincon.
Right. So they don't do that anymore. So I'm guessing all the food truck vendors that are on the west side of El Paso, their only place to really go and set up where they know they're going to get a crowd is the new place right there off of Country Club.
You know what they should do? They should drive around like in a line, like ice cream trucks, and just go all the way
Play their
around
music.
like neighborhoods and just play some music.
What they do in Austin is you can actually get apps and you can follow your favorite truck and figure out where their stops are. And they usually stop at parks where there's benches and other things like that, kind of like an ice cream truck. And it works amazing. People,
You know what they
literally
should do,
follow
bro?
them. They're-
They should set this shit up at the wall.
No,
Like in the desert?
Yeah, like out in the
What are you talking
desert.
about?
Like
the
just go out there. All you hear is tacos and gunshots.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
that's the
that's a
problem.
bad-
The gunshots. That's not good.
Yeah.
But I don't have a
You're
problem with the
ricochet.
food trucks. I have a problem with like all the shops
Traffic.
because the shops need to stick to over there next to off of what is it called? Osborne. Remember
Remember the farmer's market? Those shops?
they should
The
stay
vendors?
over there. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a better area for it because
You talking about at Hobby Lobby?
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby was good on
They
Sundays.
do that on Sundays. And
Yeah.
then this one's on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So after they got the food truck thing going, they talked to the owner of the place, of the property, the gentleman. They found out they could do the farmer's market.
Yeah.
That thing, boom, blew up. $35 a slot.
God damn.
And then it's
It's not bad, dude.
That's not,
Right.
it's not
bad at
bad.
It's
all.
not bad at all. And then they have 100 to 130 vendors. So they're cleaning up. They have live music. They have a little train that runs around the whole thing with kids and stuff like that. They have all types of stuff. So they got bumping. They got the farmer's market going. Now they're doing a night farmer's market. So after-
Wow.
It's like
Yeah.
instead of like a train going around, it's like strippers at
It's
every
the
corner.
cruise.
But
Hold on.
yeah.
Like, so they have like live bands and stuff
Oh,
like that.
wow.
Like Funky Mungle is out
Oh,
there.
no way.
Yeah, dude, with the food trucks and everything else. Like it's like a paradise type thing. Like
what they need to do is just expand, like get rid of the sidewalks, or expand the sidewalks or something. Get maybe property value, like off of some of the residential, move it out, make it 2 lanes on both sides. It would fix
it's
everything.
like a biker. It's like a bicycle lane and
Because
stuff like that.
I've lived on Country Club for so long, and it used to be a single double lane with no middle lane,
Right.
and it was the worst. And then when they started expanding, we're like, oh my god, we're getting another lane. No, we just got a turning lane. And then
They
it
made
took
big
them.
sidewalks so people could walk along the edge. Like,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But yeah,
crazy, dude.
that's the situation of Country Club.
Right. So that's the food truck situation here.
Sorry
at
about
Paso.
that.
I don't know how the fuck we got into that, but it's okay.
That was my bad.
If anybody has a solution, guys, leave us a comment at the bottom.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let us
You know
know.
what's funny, Misa, and like fucking. I know that this is only going to be funny for us 3, but when Wesley got here, he goes, "I'm not going to do much talking today, guys. I'm not feeling it."
This dude hasn't shut up. He hasn't shut up.
We went down a fucking food truck rabbit
Goddamn
hole
Country Club Farmers Market.
just because he lives right
You know what it
next.
was? It
I
was
went
that
full
shot.
Karen.
That shit's
It was
hilarious.
that shot we took.
Yeah. So when we got here, Mr. Will got here, and
Just Will. Mr. is my first name.
okay. Mr. Will. Okay, Will got here.
I'm on the
and,
board.
you know, I am full of hospitality, so we said, hey, you know what? Have a beer and take this shot of tequila. And he didn't. No objections whatsoever. So that's
None.
great because not every guest we have is always down to partake in the.
You know what?
The
But it's not.
consumption of alcohol.
Most of them do, though. Most of them do. Most of the time, it takes us about 20, 30 minutes to even start a podcast. And some have even gone up to like an hour, like Nico.
Yeah.
It took us like almost an hour
To
to
start
get it
the
started.
podcast.
Because
But those are the best casts because like you kind of like just make a bond and everybody opens up a little
just
bit.
yeah,
starts
dude, because you're
flowing.
drunk. Yeah, that's what I
Lubricated.
It's
So-
like,
lubricated. Yeah, exactly.
So Will, how old are you, man? How old are you? So we can.
41.
You're 41.
Yes.
Damn, okay.
I get that a lot.
No
too.
way.
I mean, honestly, you don't look 41 years old. What do you think?
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail.
So you went to Franklin High School.
Yeah.
class of 97.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, you guys are all a bunch of losers. Thunderbird over here,
Oh,
baby. Let's
no.
go.
Wow.
our school
I
was
don't
built
care.
by
Yeah.
a person that made prisons, dude.
Great.
It does look
Great.
impressive. But the inside's like a community college.
No, the inside was like a hospital. It was
So-
very bright.
Yeah, dude, the
Very
inside
bright.
of Franklin is trash compared to what Coronado looks like. Coronado's like open. There's like atriums everywhere. But anyways,
Look at the addition. They're adding on like a new hall and stuff like that to Coronado.
yeah, dude, like
look at
it's
that.
crazy. But what I found interesting is that you were class in 97, which is the first graduating class from
Yes,
Franklin
sir.
High School, because before that, the only high school on the west side besides Canotillo and Santa Teresa were Coronado or El Paso High.
Right. Is El Paso High on the west side?
No, that's
now,
Central.
okay, so,
Central
That's a
is
well,
fight. That's
so
been fighting people for
now,
a while.
No,
so
I
now
don't
what I've
consider-
noticed is that they're considering the
Downtown
UTEP
Central.
area as fucking the west side El Paso now.
Since
From what
when?
I don't know. I don't know when this shit just
Isn't
like
El Paso
okay,
High
that-
further than that? Like
No,
it's a little bit
it
further
is,
than
but
that.
Further? Yeah.
like if you think about it, El Paso High is lined up with downtown El Paso.
I say
Right.
closer to the
Right.
mountain makes it more central.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've always said essential.
but what's
around
happening
UTEP.
is that the city's expanding so far east that
What's east?
like Horizon and all this like towards Clint and
Far
fucking.
east.
Well, yeah, with that, exactly.
Right,
That's why you
so-
have east and then like far east.
So now
and then
what-
like far east.
Yeah. So
You got
what's
Egypt.
happening though is like the west side is getting further and further and
I heard
further
a
away.
northwest side. Have you seen that?
Yeah. So there's a
What the hell is
northwest
that?
side too.
What?
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
But
The crime there is like 50-50
Why do you look me straight in the eyes when you said that?
because you're right in front of me, dude. What do you? Okay, I'll look
Where do
that
you
way.
want him to
Oh,
look?
well, yeah, dude. All right.
I thought you were blaming me for it. Or something.
what, Wes, you wouldn't commit any sort of crime. The only crime you commit.
I plead the fifth. I've done some stuff in my time. So.
Dude, the worst thing he's ever done is like jaywalk or something.
I
Probably.
was gonna say the worst thing he's ever done was jump off a moving truck in the Willows and hit his pole or hit.
I
his
blew up
ankle
3
against the
toilets
pole.
at Lincoln Middle School.
Oh, wow. No wonder you got
cherry
expelled.
bombs. No, I didn't. I never got in detention.
Because you're white.
No, I'm
Anyway.
Dude, somebody put drugs in my locker in Lincoln, and it wasn't even mine, and I got alternative. For a
Wait,
whole year.
really?
Yeah,
White privilege.
but
They have
yeah,
lockers?
Exactly. Anyways,
I went to Lincoln.
You went to
You went to
Lincoln
Lincoln?
too?
oh,
me too, bro. Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
That's
I
what's
like you
good.
guys.
Hell yeah.
I knew.
I'll tell you.
So you grew up on the west side of El Paso?
Well, so I was born on
What is West Side now?
Well, okay, get out of that.
It's my
We're
side.
done with
It's my
that.
side.
I was born on Macomb Street at the El Diablo Clinic.
So you're born on the
I was
northeast.
born in the Northeast, and we lived there for like a couple years. And then
Wait, hold on, real quick. There's a clinic called El Diablo.
Well, it was burned down. I don't know if it burned down.
Is
but
that real or is that a joke?
That's a good
Last part
joke.
was a joke. First part's true.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my
Diablo
birth
Clinic.
certificate. It really is. I look at it too. I'm like, wait a minute.
Who would name a clinic El Diablo?
Because that was when
devil. El Diablo himself.
It's like June 6th. 6th.
that's when we had the Diablos baseball team, though.
Oh,
And so it was a
true,
good
true.
thing. It was like the part of our culture,
Damn.
you know.
Damn.
R.I.P. the Diablos, man.
Right.
God damn.
I saw a Diablos hat with just the Diablos on top of the red.
Dude,
But the
Yeah,
vibes
yeah.
took a moment of silence for
What about
them.
the buzz?
Yeah,
Buzzards,
moment of
man.
silence for the Diablos.
Where's the buzzards?
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Wesley. You're supposed to be quiet.
I can't, dude.
Okay, we're
All
good.
right.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, the Generals. Remember
All
that?
right. So you grew up on the northeast.
No, didn't go to the Northeast.
Or you were born on the
2-3
northeast.
years there, and then we moved out to Cañutillo.
Oh, nice.
And then my father and my grandfather built the house because my father, they were like master carpenters. So
Right.
they could do all that stuff like ground up. So we built the house up. They built the house out there. That's all there. I'm hanging some sheetrock at 5 years old. You know, that's what we do.
He's all running the power saw like at 3 years old.
Well, you know what? Everybody in Canotillo built their own house. I was raised in Canotillo.
It's not always finished either.
Yeah, dude. My dad
Every
built
year a
it.
new room comes in.
Yeah,
See that?
exactly. Yes, dude. I mean, I was born
It's
in
like Santa
Clinton.
Teresa.
Yes, dude. No. There's no like. No, everybody built their own house, and you didn't have to be a master builder or anything like that,
You
dude.
just glue that shit up there.
So what do you remember growing up in Ganothio? Like, as you were probably one of like the only white kids. there,
Bingo.
weren't
I
you?
remember getting beat up a lot.
Hey,
Learned
but
how to run fast.
damn, really? Just
Yeah, I did. I
Okay.
did. But it was okay because it made me tough because I started to fight back.
right,
And then they
There
started
you
to
go.
respect me. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're on the same team.
right.
Yeah.
And then they pulled me out of that and they sent me to Zach White.
Oh,
So then I'm
nice.
like, sorry about these white people, I'm like beating them up. Like,
He ended up being like a Mexican albino.
I was like a cholo.
That's what's up, dude. And then eventually you went to Franklin, you graduated 09. That's when I graduated, 97. God damn, I
Thank
don't know
you
what
for that.
happened. Yeah, sorry, that was a subtle
Appreciate
jab.
that.
Subtle jab.
Chris, 1997, you'd only been in school for like a year.
I was 6 years old. So then I like what you said earlier. You're like, my first attempt at college, because I literally went through that same shit.
Yeah, man.
My first, I didn't take college seriously at all, blew it off. Was dating some girl that I thought I loved, and I didn't have my priorities right and all that shit. So talk to us a little bit about like going to Texas Tech. Like, how did that happen? And like, what did you go there to study initially?
So I wanted to be a psychologist. And I really like the mind. And back then it was like, we've only explored 35% of the brain, which is bullshit. But, it was like, I thought that was cool.
But only 10% of your brain works and shit. It's
right.
We've only discovered 35% of the 10% that's working.
Right.
I mean, that's true for me, but that's a different story.
It's the other brain. So
No, that one's disabled on Wesley.
God, it's a cold low.
Hey, it's all good. I get paid to be.
Diabetes will do that.
Right? Yeah.
That's
Circulation problem.
that's Joe memes right there.
Right?
Diabetes.
He's metformin.
What the fuck were we talking about?
School or something. No, this is how I failed out of college.
Yeah. How,
This is how I failed out.
That's exactly what happened.
so,
He showed
okay.
up to class the first day and he asked the guy next to him, "Do you have diabetes?"
Had you ever been to Lubbock before you went there?
My brother lived there. He lived on
Okay.
69th Street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll never
Nice.
forget that.
Nice.
Because like, what is it?
Damn.
One direction they're like letters or like names, and the other direction they're all numbers.
Okay.
So you can find yourself in love. And there's like a circle that goes around at the loop.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So how did you like your time out there?
I liked it. I enjoyed tech. I love the football team. The women, Jesus Lord. It was hard to go to class.
Jesus Lord.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, Jesus Lord in a good way or a bad way?
A little A, a little bit of B.
Okay, because I've heard like from
No smoking hot.
okay, because I've heard from other people that there aren't the most attractive women out there,
They're
but it could be
liars.
their standards. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
You need to cut their tongues out because they don't speak the truth.
Well, I mean, Will was born in the Northeast, so
Yes, need to brag.
We've been spoiled.
He said that. I did not say that. So you get your shit off. Slash. It's on you, homie.
all our people that follow us are only going to be on the West Side. Watch.
I shouldn't have said what street I work on. I live on.
They don't have computers in the Northeast. Don't worry. Got it on that shit too. Boom.
I don't know what to say right now.
Say something bad about the Northeast, Chris. Hurry up.
No.
We're in
love
this
it.
together.
No, the traffic on Dyer is terrible.
Yeah. Little Devil's Triangle.
Okay, boomer.
Like,
You see, they changed the Devil's Triangle into the Angel's Triangle.
did they do that?
Like that's just gonna beautify it. Like they painted some of the wall white.
Oh my
Remember it was all
god.
black and brown,
I didn't-
dangerous.
Well,
somehow?
honestly, like I've never I've gone in the Northeast a little bit, but I've never spent a lot of time over there.
Yeah.
So I know where the Devil's Triangle is, but I've never
I don't.
hung out there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
my mom's to.
Dude, you're good. You don't know where, you're
Yeah,
good. You don't need to know. You're
There's
fine.
nothing
painted-
good you can get there.
If it's painted white, maybe it's meant for camouflage.
Right.
For
You can just
like
slide through it just like that, so nobody sees you. So you go to tech, and then did you party your ass off or what?
Not that much. I did party. What kind of happened? This is what kind of is what happened. Actually happened. I had average grades. Was everything was going fine. About 3 weeks before finals, I developed appendicitis.
Oh,
And it had ruptured, and then went over to the front. So they had to cut me in the front, and then I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks.
damn.
And I had to go home for a little bit. And then I lost a lot of my credit because I wasn't really studying while I was in the hospital. I wasn't in pain and stuff like that. So I didn't want to go back and take the finals. So all the money that my parents spent on that semester was gone. And it was one of those, I'm not going to live like that. So my father, before I went to tech, he got mad because you spend those 2 weeks after you graduate, you're kind of kicking back, you're partying, you're hanging out with your friends, just doing what you do. And he was a Marine. He was from that old school generation where if you're not working, you're not, at the house doing
Yeah,
nothing.
you're a loser if you're not working.
Oh yeah.
And you
Even
can't
worse.
be at my house not doing nothing.
goes-
No, sir.
You're either going to go back to college, or you're going to join the Corps.
Oh,
Well, I mean, he had him built his house at 5 years old.
Okay, Dad. I was smoking at 8, so driving by 9.
so he gives you this ultimatum
Yeah,
of
so I joined the Army to piss him off.
okay, hold on.
That's 100% why I
I'm
love
sure
it.
there's
Oh,
so
that
many
would-
fucking people that have joined the army to spite either their parents or somebody in their life. I'm sure that's happened way more than we fucking
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So you joined the army and what
So I
happened?
became a journalist was out of spite. Anyways, so
Jesus, don't they say
His whole life is out of spite.
I'm telling you make me mad. Okay.
I got a new career coming.
I'll show you. Yeah, so did the Army thing. I had a 3-year contract in the infantry, and I was liking it. I was all about it. It was right before September 11th, during the Kosovo stuff. Slobodan Milosevic was, doing his thing, invading of the different eastern territories in Russia and such. So we were getting trained up for that. I was a Rakkasan with the 101st, so I went through my AIT, base training, all that stuff. So I was a soldier. What was it? I was an air assault soldier. I was working on going to RIP school, which is like your Ranger introductory program, and I carried the saw. I was an RTO. You know, I was Rambo. I loved it. I was all about it. Jesus. I developed cardiomyopathy on an Eagle flight. It was the first time I ever felt this kind of weather. Here in El Paso, we used to like 105, 106, 107. You know, we can deal with that kind of heat, but they have humidity up east and up north. Like it was 100 degrees with 100% humidity. Jeez. And it was like walking in jello. And it was a trip. And so
can't even breathe.
Yeah, barely breathe. And it was just like intense, you know, trench bunker line attack systems, reacting to combat, air assaults, all types. It's what I wanted. So I'm not bitching about it, but it was really good, intense training. But I guess the doctors were saying that I'd probably had the flu before I left to go train.
It's probably Rona.
Yeah,
it was COVID-15. COVID-15.
Rona's been around forever, so
yeah, COVID-15.
It was before the Wuhan incident. So, anyways, I'm out. I had the flu, but you don't just like time out. I can't go train. Sorry, guys, I'm sick. You know, get the fuck out there. So, did that, and one of the things I had to do after 2 weeks of like no sleep, just intense training, which is good training because you know when you're in combat, you want to be ready for it kind of thing. So I was all about it, just fighting through. We had to do a trench bunker line attack system. So we hit this thing at like 2 a.m, killed all the bad guys, got them out of there, secured the area, and then you prepare for like a counterattack. So anytime you hit somebody, you got to be ready for them to hit you back. So set it all up. They came back, took them out, they left. Then they had us fill up our canteens, and I was like, fuck, you know what this means? We're going to start walking. So it was about 2:30 when we left. It was like a 27-mile road march. And I made the march, but like out of about 50 of us, only about 8 of us got to the end. There was a truck in the back, and they were just scooping up. It was like a meat truck. Just
scooping everybody up.
So once you tapped out, they would fucking
roadkill. Just roadkill.
But in my mind, in combat, we're not going to have a meat truck back there if I can't make it to the next place. I'm going to die.
Right.
So I thought in my head, I'm going to go to the end, which I did. Yeah. Once I got there, I hit the ground. Clouds, my pulse dropped down to like 9-10 beats a minute and stuff like that. They freaked out, took me to the hospital. Then basically they honorably medically discharged me after 2.5 years, which sucked because like a few months later, September 11th happened.
Oh man.
So it was like you trained for the championship game, but you can't play.
You got cut from the team.
Something happened.
You went that extra mile when other people didn't, and now you can't go in there and use that skill.
So that blew. And then, I really started drinking, and I got a little off the rails because like I would see my friends' names on the KVIA list. I was like, I knew that guy's wife and his 3 kids. And like that's not fair that I'm single. I should have been me. And or what if I could have been there to make it not, you know what I mean? It took a lot of,
your life would have been a lot different.
Right, I might not have came home.
Right. You start thinking of like all these what if scenarios, like what could have been, how could have my life changed from being in a different position? And it's natural to go through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it'll eat you alive.
Right.
And it was. And so I went in, I went and got mental health. I went in and I talked to him. He's like, dude, I'm falling apart because I was going to the bars and just throwing down. I go to Aaron's and just pick a fight.
Aaron's my place.
You know what I'm talking about?
My dad grew up there, and then he told me about it, and then I went there, played pool, did karaoke, and then they redid it, and I was like, I'm back.
That's what I still do now. That's what I still do nowadays. I go and start fights.
Yeah.
No.
So like I've been doing this since I was like 16. So I love me some Aaron's.
Yeah, dude. Aaron's was the shit back then, and especially like in your time. Aaron's was like a thriving fucking bar. For us, it was still at the time, and then it kind of died down, and then some bad shit happened, and they closed down, and then they reopened and whatever. But back then, they were more consistent. It was more of the spot to fucking be. You know what I'm saying? So
that was your spot to go, Aaron's all the time.
Oh, whatever.
During that time.
Well, during that time, and there's a couple other bars in the area.
Aceitunas.
Yeah, Aceitunas always great. Yeah. I know those owners.
Pops Cantina.
Great people. Pops. What was the one that was Far West Saloon? I forgot what it's called right now, but it was out there on Donovan by like Southern Park. It's a funny story. So like kind of fight broke out inside the bar. So of course I'm trying to get in the middle of it, and then we go outside to fight. And this dude has this pull stick, and so I rip the pull stick from his hands, and I snap it in half. And I'm about to beat the shit out of this dude.
Roadhouse.
Out of the blue, this guy jumps up and goes, "Don't hit my dad!" Oh. And like I was so stunned, I was like.
Don't hit my dad.
Don't hit my dad. I'll never forget that. I'm like, okay.
You're
like,
like,
you
fuck your
win this
dad.
round, Dad. Touche.
so you said Donovan Southern Park?
Jonathan is something. It was called the Far West Saloon.
Is that like the
By Mundo's right
the
now.
W Lounge? That's what it is.
Yeah, it kind of a little back area.
I've been there one
Yeah.
time and it was cool. But it's definitely like,
Rough.
to me, it was an older crowd, like
Hmm.
people like my dad's age, older than that.
Yeah.
Like
but-
Conos and Rosas.
Right. All those little bars, they all have like a certain crowd. You don't see
True.
like a lot of like younger, like 21,
Or people that
22
graduated in
year-olds.
1987.
Yeah, you see them. You see them in the parking lot.
He's like, I'll be waiting for you.
It's like other parking lot spaces is handicapped.
But I feel like stuff like that changes because like Tortugas over there off Sunland Park
Yeah, yeah,
near
yeah.
Pelicans, that used to be an older crowd. Now it's like before
That
the
shit's
pandemic.
ratchet now.
Yeah, because they all
Changed a couple
died.
times. Polly's, remember that? Uncle Polly's.
Uncle Paul.
It was a rock and roll bar.
I don't
Yeah, it's called
remember
Uncle
that.
Polly's.
Where was
Yeah.
that? At Tortugas?
Tortugas.
Okay. So that's what it was before, prior.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, I think it was something before that as well. It was Uncle Polly's. I don't know what it was after that, and it was Tortugas.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're just displaying our expert knowledge of bars here in El Paso.
I hated
Just
drunkenness.
because we love to fucking
Cheers.
pound them back.
I'll drink to that.
So would you choose UTEP over Texas Tech or like, is that even an option for you?
So you want to go? You want me to skip like how I got into back to school and got into everything like that?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
wanna
I'm
go
just
to these
saying
questions?
like,
Because I can go on forever. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you need to rail me in from time to
no,
time.
I'm just
Wheel
saying
me
like,
in.
so let me give you some context to that question. My brother graduated from UTEP and he went to Texas Tech for law school.
Oh wow!
And he
Oh, yeah.
said that a lot of people, even if they were from El Paso or UTEP, they would like disown the fact that they were from there and they would like take on the
No.
pride of like being from Tech. And I'm like, bro, what kind of shit is that? Like, if I was in that situation, like I'd be all UTEP, you know what I'm saying? Like always representing El Paso in every way.
Either
you know?
way, yeah, totally. What I liked about being at Texas Tech, being from El Paso, we could drink. We've been going to water since we're like 15, 16, 14, 17, you know what I'm saying? Drinking forever, partying like rock stars.
Listening to Johnny Cage.
Yeah, you go, right? So yeah, I'm like, but those guys, they didn't party like we did. So they have 3 or 4 beers and they're like rah, dragging themselves
Fucking
around.
faded.
Right, we're just warming up and stuff. So that's what I liked about being from El Paso. And I don't think they like that because also like being from El Paso, someone bumps you like back then you kind of ready to, throw chingasos like
Right.
that minute. At Lubbock, you bump into somebody and before you swing I apologize,
Right.
sir. And
They're
then
like, let me get my lawyer.
yeah,
Here's
exactly.
$20.
I completely, it was my fault. I see what I did wrong now. You know what I mean?
You like some sweet tea?
Exactly. And I'm like, you better. Oh man, I fucking dick. So, not my dad.
That's funny, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I noticed about the difference between that. But I love being from UTEP, except for stupid Baylor. God,
Well,
What's
yeah.
your fondest memory from college?
which time?
Anytime.
The
Your-
second
your-
time.
The second time.
Second
let's say.
time. Okay.
Round 2.
I got being at UTEP.
UTEP's a different campus than Tech.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not comparable.
It's a trip because I think people care more about the campus at Texas Tech,
Right.
and like UTEP is like a transitionary type school.
Yeah,
Like,
UTEP is total. It's a community school in a way. Like you
Pretty
live at
much.
home or you live off campus. You go to school and you dip out.
We don't have that super pride like you have
Right.
like at Texas Tech. That whole city, Lubbock, is about Texas Tech. Like
Right.
it runs that city.
Yeah.
So like you're just all about it. And
Yeah, that city should be called Texas Tech City.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Straight up, dude.
Hey, interesting fact. There is a city here in the States where the corporation Dish bought out the city and everybody got free Dish, but they named the city Dish.
This shitty.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. And everybody gets lifetime.
They should
free
do that
Dish.
here at UTEP.
You're right about
Just
facts.
Give everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the
That's
living Snapple
He's
cap.
a Snapple cap. Yeah. That's what's up, dude. So you come to UTEP eventually, and then you said multimedia journalism it is, or was it like, were
No.
you still figuring shit out?
Came back from Tech, and my father, he was like, I want to retire. I'm going to give you my contracting business because he's a federal contractor, worked for the government. I'm doing all types of construction work and running of men and, just maintaining stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. I got this business and my father's done well with it. Might as well take it over. So I go in to start taking it over. He won't retire. So,
It's like, nah.
gotcha.
That's me.
Surprise!
That's literally me right now.
Yeah. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're almost 60. Just
I think it's just
Just
they
die
don't want
already,
to like.
Dad.
No,
My
Jesus
father was in
Christ,
his
just die
70s.
already.
no, I love my dad.
No, I think what it is they like like they like the idea of somebody taking over, but when that actually happens and they're not in power or control anymore, they start freaking out.
It's more
exactly.
It's more my dad he's old fashioned and he just doesn't know. He thinks everybody needs to constantly work. So if he retires, he's useless. Yeah. So that's just how he is. So I'll probably never get.
Yeah. So similar situation to you, right? In that sense.
Yeah. Well, like my father couldn't work a calculator.
But he can build a fucking house.
He can build this house, blindfolded.
Right.
It wouldn't work.
But can't fucking add on a calculator or open up a fucking web browser.
Exactly. Control on a computer.
Oh my dad types.
Swear to God.
My dad types
my father never typed.
Like your dad was like, I'm not touching that fucking keyboard.
When I went to tech, I asked him if I could get like a desktop computer or something like that. And they bought me a word processor. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this?
A word processor.
It just has like a laptop type thing.
That shit
keyboard,
is crazy.
Like a little screen. So I was like, thanks. Why I failed.
That's why I had to go back to college again.
So
thanks, Dad.
I'm assuming like you always had like some sort of love or passion for sports, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely love sports. Played football, baseball, soccer, ran track, wrestled, martial arts, stuff like that. So it was all about it. But it's kind of a trip as I've gotten older. I do love sports, but I just don't follow them as much as I used to.
Me too, dude. I've noticed that recently that I don't like pay as close attention, but it's because of like
life,
doing the podcast, life, work, school, like all this shit, like
kids.
There's not enough time in the day for everything, you know? So now you have to really choose like, okay, what is it? Yeah. What is it that I'm going to prioritize now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I catch myself watching cartoons with my son on Sundays instead of football. And I'm just kind of pissed off. But then again, like an hour later, I'm like really into this cartoon.
Yeah, they're actually made pretty well. And then I watch cartoons because everything on TV grosses me out because everything is like suddenly turns into like a weird surgery show or something like that, where it's about like serial killers, Netflix and stuff like that. So I'm just like, all right, I'm eating this pizza. Throw on cartoons for like 5-10 minutes and then go back to the gross stuff.
I just do YouTube.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Get a smart TV.
What I do at the end of the day is just I go look at the highlights and that's it.
Yeah, I'm a huge YouTube guy. So how did you get like, what made you choose like multimedia journalism? Like make you like decide, hey, I want to be like on TV, or if not on TV, like involved in the production of like shows and media.
So this is where we're going to spite again. I was working with my father.
It's his favorite word, spite.
I'm telling you, this what like drives me. Anyways, working with the old man, wouldn't retire, made me start my own company. So, but it was a good thing because then I was a service-connected disabled owned business, which would give my father set aside work for him to use. So it was communal and stuff like that, but I didn't love it. The workers didn't want to work for me because I was daddy's boy, and I kind of understand that too. But
they're like, "Ese pinche güero qué?"
Yeah. Well, I'm paying you, bitch. So
I cut the checks.
Yeah, no,
I cut them.
That's the thing. I don't play with you, son. They're basically breaking big rocks into little rocks. Anybody can do that. You want to get an attitude? I'll find somebody on the street that'll do it for you, homie. Like, doesn't matter to me. We don't play. So, but that's how you live life. You have to learn that way.
Yeah.
So,
Bro, I feel like Will's about to kick me off my own.
I feel like I'm about to get fired right now. Like
I can push that button. My bad. That was me. I did that in my sleep.
No fingers needed.
You could accidentally fall on the button at the right time.
No, I was just like, I don't know the word buttons, but right.
He had a word processor, remember?
Yeah. I worked on the computer. So yeah, I was doing that. And then I started listening to podcasts because my father had a friend who owned a triplex on Nevada Street, which is kind of like central downtown by El Paso High. So I bought that from him and I fixed it up, and then I would rent the two and live in one. And it worked. It was pretty cool. I was liking it. And I wasn't liking what I was doing at work. And it wasn't fun for me. So I started podcasting. I was listening to podcasts while I was working. So at night while I'm painting or something like that.
Conversing with Chris and Misa.
Yeah, listening to you guys. But this was back in like 2014. So that was a minute ago.
Breaking like of time, like when podcasts were like really
Bingo.
pushing the fucking now they were becoming mainstream. You know what I mean?
Oh, we'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm so pissed off about that. I got more spike to go.
Yeah.
I'm not even using my coaster too. Sorry about that. So,
No, you're good, dude.
so like I said, I'm listening to these podcasts, and I hear at the same time I was also playing indoor soccer.
Nice.
At Nations.
Yeah,
love
fuck
that
playing
stuff.
outside.
Well, yeah, that's even better. It's like at Nations Tobin, it's on the ice rink court that they have for like the rollerblading, but they have soccer goals. So it's badass. You can bang people in the walls, and the ball, it's like a cannonball. So it doesn't leave the court.
It's like playing hockey, but soccer.
Yeah, but so I played goalie because I could like fill the goal, and but we were real good. We won like 5 indoor championships, and like it was like 9 white guys and like 2 Hispanic dudes on my team. So we would go and kick the fuck out of teams, and they'd be so pissed because these honkies would come out there
because these 2 white, because these 2 Mexican guys scored all the points.
I surprisingly did the same thing when I at Lincoln. We would play soccer, like 2-hand touch football, and then and then I would actually do some stuff, and people would be pissed off.
No mama's way.
Oh my god! I tried to tell a story. I'm just going. All right, I'm going back to producing now.
It was a good start.
Yeah, you see how Misa just like quickly shut you down? That wasn't nice, Misa. You got to treat him better.
Well, it's because the thing with Wes is like you don't know if he's fucking just making some shit up, if it's some fact or not. Because he's done this several times in the pod, so I got to keep my eye on that dude. That's why I keep looking at you, bro.
I'm just producing right now. I'm just letting you know. That's all I'm doing right now.
You're on Amazon right now. I can see it through your glasses.
I can't do it. It's not Amazon.
He's ordering a new producer.
I don't know what her name is.
He's on Indeed looking for a new job.
Wait, did you say looking for a new job? Yeah, let's just pop that up real fast.
Let's see, what is this?
I
quit posting.
Yeah, you don't get like a good sign. You
That
just
shit
get
was hilarious. That's what's up, dude. So, goddamn, we just went down another rabbit hole.
That's what I do. You got to like keep me in the place because I just go, we're doing this stuff, playing soccer. And I'm like, you know what? I'm listening to this podcast from Rios Radio. And then they had like an art show, a music show, and a sports show. So I was like, wait a minute, we're local. We kick the shit out of all these teams, have all these like championship trophies and stuff like that. Why don't we go in there and talk about it? So I call them up, they're like, come on out. So I come out there, tell them stories, had a good time. They say, why don't you come back next week? So came back next week, more stories, blah, blah, blah. So I basically kind of like weaseled my way into the podcast. Nice. And I was working in the sports department, whatever. But like the guy kind of did a good job. Again, back then was new and they're trying to like figure things out. And he really had a good little concept and it was good stuff. It was all his things. And we would go to bars like the Pershing Inn and we would just set up there and up top, we would just be up there doing a podcast. People walk by, clinking their drinks. Excuse me. I know, burp. And then, we could drink and stuff like that there. They'd bring them to us. So it was just a great time. I was really enjoying that. Things are going well. And I started to become like a host because one of the guys had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby. He was involved.
It wasn't his son, but he was having a baby.
Close enough. So I took over his spot and I was kind of running things and like I put like 5-6 hours in before I even like go to start the podcast. So I was really into it. And so I also developed a soccer show with Coach Cross. We called it like Crossfire. You remember Coach Cross?
Yes.
UTEP? He was so awesome. So it was him.
Crossfire?
That's a great
awesome name.
That's awesome. So we would have Coach meet us and bring 2 soccer players, 2 of the girls. And I would like call all their friends behind them and get their little backstories and little secret little stories and just hit it with them on the end. And then they'd share with their family. It was awesome. So I was talking to this, podcast producer guy about another show and he goes, what degree do you have that makes you think you can tell me what show will work?
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Hold that thought. So
out of spite,
he went back to school.
I fucking called the VA and I said, what are my educational benefits at right now? I'm like, well, yeah, plenty. I'm like, well, sign me up. So the very next day I said, it'll be a bachelor's in multimedia journalism and probably a minor in anthropology. No. So yeah, and that's what I did. So I got the
so it took that one guy to tell you,
and then he fired me. That's how big of a loser I'm. I got fired from a podcast.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, you're not the only one that's getting fired.
I knew that was coming.
That was easy. That was an easy joke.
I've been you.
That's crazy, dude. So
only goes up from there. Trust me.
So you go back, you finish out your degree, and then essentially, like you said, you started interning for the station, right?
It was crazy. I was actually butthurt and all upset that I got fired. I'm like, poor me.
Don't we all though?
A little bit. So I was crying in my beer. And one of my tenants was also one of my best friends. And like his sister was there and his wife. And so we were like hanging out, chilling. And
chilling.
And it was all okay.
This is a white power thing. Was it upside down?
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's just 4 chairs.
See what you did? The white people got you.
Oh, shit, it's too much white power in there.
You in.
Grab his shirt so fast.
They only use their forefinger and their thumb. So
Right.
they come
The
in.
ghost
I
of the
thought you were
Confederates.
done, dude.
Dude, me too.
I thought he was done. Oh shit.
So I got fired from the podcast. I'm crying in this dude's house. We're hanging out, we're chatting. And this girl was like, why do you care about podcasting? Why don't you do TV? And I was like, I don't know if I can talk about that. That's a great idea. So the next day, I called KVIA about their intern department. And they said, come on out. So I did. And then boom, here I am.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up, dude. That's
That's
a
what's up,
crazy ass fucking story.
Hey, shout out to that guy that fucking asked you about your fucking college degrees
and
and
then
shit,
fired you
and then fired
for
you.
going and getting a degree.
He made your life better.
Best part about firing me, he had us meet at what's the pizza place with the Bandit? The really awesome one that's so great from here in El Paso. Not Hello.
It's Pizza House or no. What is it?
with the bandit?
It's the one
Yeah.
they just opened it near
On
Franklin.
Misa. Yeah.
Near Franklin. It's with the orange, like it's.
I can see it in my head.
You know what I'm talking about?
Patron?
I don't know. I only eat Peter Piper.
It used to be
How's
over
that
by.
today?
It used to be over by UTEP next to
Downtown
House of
2900
Rock.
when 2900 was a thing.
Fuck.
But it's a big pizza thing. They have pretty big pizza slices.
They're good.
They're amazing.
Beer?
Pizza
Beer?
joint.
Pizza joint.
Pizza joint.
Bingo. So the one on the west side.
About that place except the name.
Yeah, I described it to a T. I was like writing a Yelp review, and I was like, I forgot the name though.
Terrible. But so
fuck
you
the
had us
pizza
meet
joint.
the one on Mesa, and we're all there. And he's like, I want to talk to you guys about what we're gonna do. We're firing Will, and we're gonna do the sports thing. We're gonna end it. And I was like, you brought 20 of us here
Just to say that.
Just to say that. I'm like, you fucking pussy. Like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I had like 4 of my boys were with me because we were gonna go play soccer that day, and so we had a game, and I was in my uniform. But I was gonna kill a student, and they're like, no, not worth it. So pulled me out of there, and then went to TV.
You should have told him, hey man, let's go to Aaron's and fight.
Yeah, right.
I think that
He wouldn't go to errands with me.
Yeah.
I have another meeting for you at Aaron's.
I think that worked out best for you, honestly. And like, if you look at how your career played out now, and like you're on this podcast, which is
Yeah.
the biggest thing you could ever fucking do.
Nothing goes up from here.
But I mean, like I've seen you on TV plenty. I know a lot of people have, and it's cool because when I asked, like, there's a person that you had done a podcast with. His name is Ace.
Hell yeah.
Somebody that I know from my new job. He had told me that he did a podcast with you, and he was like, "Yeah,
Oh, we went deep.
yeah." He's like, "Will's a fucking good guy," and like, yeah, he even said you guys did like a 2-parter, like,
Yeah, we did like a
part one,
4-hour thing.
right.
We cut it out because we got a little shitty house, and we had all these tacos and just they deposit, but like, you can't use that. You can't use that.
Right.
Like,
but yeah, dude,
got a little too loose.
that shit's crazy because like I think for you it ultimately worked out. Like,
Oh,
you know
totally.
what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
even despite everything, spiting everybody after spiting everybody after spiting everybody after spiting everybody, like here you are.
Yeah. So it worked out. We're done in the end. And now, and like another thing, like I'm from here. I'm Choco. Like, y'all are my people. If anything happens to you guys, it happens to me.
Right.
If it happens to your family, it happens to my family. Like, I care because I'm from this, So if anything goes down, I'm about it. And then when I go do these stories, like, some kid's dead or some mom's dead or, hell's broken loose somewhere, like, I do feel their pain. I probably know their cousin.
Este güey es carnal. Este güey sí sabe.
Ese güey sí.
Oh yeah. You know what's cool is when you run into these pigmentally challenged people.
I resemble that remark.
Right. But the good thing is like they are fully like El Paso.
Yeah.
They are more El Paso than like anybody else.
I mean, I'm not from here, but like my sister was born here. So like my parents have like come here and then had some kids and then moved away. And then,
Let's come back. Yeah.
and then we came back here and I've been here for like 14, 15 years
Yeah.
now. So
And
Yeah,
there you
okay.
go. And now we're all here doing a podcast.
Look
So
at us.
That's
On
beautiful.
the west side of El Paso.
yeah.
Is it west side? Is it?
Yeah,
right
this
on the
is west side.
Yeah, all right.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
West Side.
So we're coming up on the 53rd minute mark.
What?
Here. That shit flew by. That shit flew.
Usually we stop like at 35 minutes.
So yeah, we're coming up on 53.
Thank you, Tequila.
53rd minute.
Yeah, let's do
What
that.
we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little break, but when we get back, we're gonna talk a little bit. Jesus Christ!
My bad.
Some other.
Mic check.
God damn! It only was twice. I don't even know if I should say what I was gonna say anymore. But anyways, we're gonna come back, guys. We're gonna talk some Rodney Terry leaving UTEP. Tiger Woods' new details on his crash came out today, and then they are going to move the MLB All-Star game because of some political reasons in Georgia. The game was slated to be hosted at the Atlanta Braves Stadium, and then I have a game for y'all. It's called the overly rated, underrated, or properly rated game. We're going to play that with y'all, and then we're going to do some 5 random questions. So with all that being said, guys, make sure you follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page, Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and a review. We're going to take this break, and we will be right back.
Yo, what I do. Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast is sponsored by top quality and handcrafted products made by I&I Glass. I&I Glass products are blown here locally in the 915 and range in uses from pipes, pendants, jewelry, decorations, and even goddamn motherfucking hummingbirds, and much, much more. So make sure you go and hit up our boy Aaron Lee at I&I Glass and tell him that your boys, Chris and Misa, sent you, all right? And you go and support a local Paso business motherfucking today, all right? Thanks.
All right, guys, we are back from break. Episode number 70, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure you guys like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, rating, and a review. Let's go. Mr. Will, thank you for being with us today. This has been a pretty crazy podcast. We've been all over the place, but that's good because we don't want to be like doing the traditional like sit down interview and tell us about your life and your kids and all that. But we've got into a lot of crazy shit. We have some more crazy shit we want to get into. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the UTEP men's basketball head coach, Rodney Terry, he accepted a new position to go coach on the staff at UT Austin. So he's not going to be the head coach there, but he's going to be on the staff. And that happened yesterday, right? That was yesterday that shit broke?
Like about a week and a half, about a week ago, we knew some inside sources that he was looking at that job, that opening, and slowly kind of just came to fruition. What was it? Friday, I think we announced it.
I think it was Friday, right?
Yeah.
That it was finally official.
How long had he been a head coach for?
He'd been 2 years at UTEP, but I wouldn't say they were the best years. I mean,
but it was an improvement.
I think in talent. I thought he was good.
Yeah, he got some good talent in, but they never progressed any further than losing in the first round of the Conference USA tournament. So that's not good. And for a school like UTEP, you would expect them to be at least competing to be in the NCAA tournament,
right?
And at least competing to win their conference title, and that they haven't been doing that for a while now. And it's kind of sad because the UTEP basketball program is prestigious, and up until
that's all we got,
right? That's all we have here. And then up until Monday night, we were the only D1 school in Texas with the national championship in basketball. But when Baylor beat Gonzaga on Monday. Obviously, they're in Texas and Waco, so now they join us. But it's not the same. I don't think.
Well, we're first.
We were first, and not only that, we also changed the way the game is played. That's another thing that people forget. Like
that's the most important.
We started 5 black people for the very first time in basketball.
Yes,
which is fucking crazy to think. Like Baylor just fucking won. Like Baylor just happened to have a good season and win the tournament. Like
they got hot late.
Right, they got hot late,
and that's what you're supposed to do.
And Gonzaga was 32-0, and they just this was the one game they fucking lost. They can't win the big ones.
Overtime against UCLA.
So what are your thoughts? Like I know Wesley, you're not super huge into basketball. Or into sports, but do you have any thoughts on the UTEP coach leaving for a new position at UT Austin?
I didn't even know it happened. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Great contribution, Wes. Misa?
Dude, honestly, I'm just like, I just feel like it's coming, you know, like we're going to have a year like we did before that we were excited to hear about the basketball games and want to go to the basketball games. And I know it's happening and it's going to happen. I just don't know when. And I don't know, hey, I mean, it's a good thing, I think, you know, maybe getting a new head coach, but getting a new head coach is like starting over.
Yeah. That's like one of the things is in order to build a good program, you would want to have a tenured coach. But the thing is with UTEP is that it's almost viewed as a stepping stone job.
Right.
So you come here, if you do well, then you move on. That was the case with like Tony Barbie, Billy Gillespie, some of these coaches that did well with the minors, and then they go to a bigger school and it doesn't like work out for them. So what were your thoughts on that, Will?
Well, I wasn't a super fan of Rodney Terry. I never really had a problem with him.
I never had a problem, but I didn't think he was like, oh, this is the fucking guy that's going to lead us to glory, you know?
He, to me, was kind of a baby. He would whine and cry and complain and scream and yell like a child at times. And I didn't like that. He would kind of scream and yell at the ADs when he didn't get his way. It was real childlike. And I had I didn't respect that a lot. And I didn't think he instilled the discipline that was needed. I think he treated his players as well as, you're just a commodity. Right. You're a come on. I don't really matter to you. So I think it's a good thing. Another thing, I'm not super big on Jim Center. So this is one of his big hires, along with Coach Dimmel, and those haven't worked.
And they both have fucking crashed straight into the fucking ground.
First thing Center did was fire Coach Cross, and he walked in the door, and that I got in trouble because I was a little, I was on air.
Critical about that.
I was quite critical. Right. And my boss was like, you kind of pushed it, so don't do that again. So like I didn't. But,
all right, so let's watch where we go here. Okay, so we don't want to be the source of. Okay. So no, I just wanted to bring that up. I know not a lot of people are super into UTEP basketball. Me, myself, I am. I mean,
There's
I grew
better
up
out there.
Right. I grew up on that. There's a lot of people that really do care about the program. Me being one, and my dad. A lot of people that I grew up with, we all really love
what about
UTEP.
Jim Hardaway?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they've had some fucking players at UTEP, bro.
Aren't they the only ones to do something? I forgot what it was.
They were the only ones to win a national championship in the state of Texas until this Monday.
Yeah.
Baylor won the national championship. Okay. But until then, we were the only ones.
Yeah.
But
Glory Road.
I mean,
there's a fucking movie made about
that was us.
Yeah, there's a movie made about UTEP basketball. Like that.
Sorry.
Like
I'm out of the loop.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
were you sad that Baylor won, dude?
Well, I wasn't I was sad because obviously I'm not rooting.
Because you know what? I told my wife about it. My wife doesn't follow it or anything. So I was telling her, like, hey, look, we're going for Gonzalo. Fuck Baylor.
We're going for Gonzaga.
I'm sorry. And then she's all like, hey, but that's Texas.
But it's Texas.
Yeah. Aren't we all like supposed to cheer for Texas?
And then also, okay, look.
Like not Georgia, it's just Texas.
Right. But
not in this case.
What I'm thinking too is like, really, out of all the Texas schools, fucking Baylor, like not even UT, not Tech, not A&M, not U of H, like fucking Baylor is like, hey, we'll grab a championship too. Hey, how about that?
That was pretty tough. They were decent last year and the year before, so I can see them winning the championship this year. It was just about getting hot.
Right. At the right time in the tournament.
I mean, right off the bat, they were.
Dude, the other day, and this is going to go off topic, and I know Wes might feel like he does.
Wes just checked out. He's taking a nap.
He might even check out some more.
Sports ball.
But I went back, and this is just for me, and people who know me know that I'm a huge Steph Curry fan. I went back and watched his run in the NCAA tournament with Davidson. That shit is historic. Go check it out on YouTube. There's a video.
Never really checked them out.
Final Four they made it to?
What's up?
Did you go to the Final Four?
No, they lost to Kansas in the Elite Eight.
Gotcha.
And if they would, they had Kansas on the ropes. But to see they played Gonzaga, they played Wisconsin, they played Georgetown, like Davidson, like a little fucking school that you've never heard of. And Steph Curry was the engine behind all that.
He could shoot from the parking lot.
Bro, he was dropping like 30 plus on those teams in college by himself with the subpar teammates. Like, whatever.
Get on my shoulders. Let's go.
Yeah. So that's when I really realized like this guy's going to be fucking big
this
deal.
guy right up here.
Yeah. And there he is. Yep. And there he is on the screen too. Good shit, Wes.
Oh, there he is. Nailed it.
Yeah. So I think honestly, like, Curry really did help change the way that people play basketball now, because now you see everybody fucking like shooting threes like crazy.
Nothing but threes.
And he was one of the first guys that was like, a 3-point shot for me is better than a shot in the paint or a layup. Like I can hit almost anything from outside if I'm open. You know what I'm saying?
Old school coaches don't like the 3-point line. They like it changed it a little bit. You had to be as finesseful to try to get to the hoop.
Right.
Now you can shoot from anywhere and make points and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. The game. And like
old school coaches.
Well, it's a percentage. Changes, right? It's like it's going to be harder.
Point-wise, like it changed the game where you didn't go into the hoop and you had to be,
and you space the floor so that you gave space to like all the players. That way, even if you had a situation where you were guarded, you could get a pass out to somebody that was in a better position, more open than you were. So, shout out to fucking basketball, by the way. I love basketball. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Rodney Terry departure.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's
good in a way because like
addition by subtraction.
Right. He wasn't it for UTEP. It wasn't going to work. And so now it's like, let's hit the reset button. I'm not saying the next coach is going to come in and win the fucking CUSA title, but maybe we'll be a little bit more competitive. We lost some good players after this year, like Bryson Williams, one of our best players. He's a senior, so he won't be on the team anymore. But
he's a beast.
Solomon Boom also.
Sully.
Yeah, Sully Boom. He goes hard. So, I don't know. It's just crazy. But
hopefully they stay.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. I know Bryson has that. He has an extra year because he's like
he wants to.
Yeah,
redshirted.
So he might stay. But if I'm him, I'm going to the pros.
Is there a player that's local?
They always have
for sure.
Yeah, they always have some local kids, but they don't always get the most minutes. But they do have like 1 or 2 kids that are from El Paso.
I don't know right now at the moment. I can look it up for you, but
right.
Can you guys?
No lie to you.
Do you guys know like off your head like the most popular local basketball player that played for UTEP?
Played
Currently or
no, like anytime, like all time?
Like the most famous El Paso basketball player that played for UTEP?
Yeah.
Oh, like from El Paso.
From El Paso?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. That's
Never been somebody.
No,
that,
most of UTEP's best players have always been not from EP. You know what I mean? Like traditionally.
Hardaway?
Like Tim Hardaway, Omar Thomas, Steven Jackson, like
Foster.
Gilberto Rivera. Like just I'm thinking more of like because when I was growing up, but like yeah, like even the old school guys, like they normally weren't from El Paso, but they always had kids from El Paso.
Dude, I should try out.
You know what I mean?
Really?
No, you wouldn't make it. Maybe with that bandana you would. But and in other news, another sports related story that I saw, and this happened a while back. Tiger Woods got in a car accident. It was a pretty big deal because of everything that Tiger's been through. And so the LAPD or LA Sheriff's County office released details on the crash. And so Tiger was going 80 miles an hour almost,
40.
flying through like a 40 miles per hour zone.
Seems like a normal I-10,
Right.
like people on I-10.
Just
though.
flying. Ultimately, he lost control of his car.
Yeah.
Ran into a tree. Luckily, he's okay.
Isn't that what happened to Ryan Dunn? He drank a little bit before,
Right.
but he went way too fast on a public road like that.
So that's my point in this is
Jackass.
that we could have lost Tiger that way.
True. Oh,
Like,
wow.
in-
So wait,
Just
he
like that.
he broke his legs or
Yeah,
one of
he's
his
lucky
legs, right?
that's all that
His
happens.
jaw of life. Had
Right.
to
The
get him out,
jaws of life had to be used on his car to extract him out. But when you find out, and especially in this area of California, like these hilly areas, windy roads, the guy's going 80.
Why?
Like why?
Like
Like
people do that on Trans Mountain all the time. Like
I can see Trans Mountain. He's talking about these like windy spin roads.
These
where
windy
they're
roads
like
in the
side to
hills.
side.
I'm talking-
He hit a medium
trees
and
stuff
hit
that.
like a neighborhood sign.
No, I'm talking about like over by like Franklin, like the new neighborhoods behind there. There's like
Well, yeah, they
the
still-
mountains that
yeah.
come down. People go like 80 miles an hour down that.
There's no
just
use
because
to
it's
that.
fun. It's just
right.
like I don't know why
Little
people
kids,
do
Young
that.
people.
I don't understand how people think that like driving in a vehicle and getting into an accident.
You know what
Crazy
happened?
news story.
You know what happened, dude? He left his phone at home and his
Yeah,
car.
that's what. Okay, so get to your
Porn star girlfriend was calling.
right.
Yeah.
Get to your crazy story.
Crazy
there.
road guy was driving a little bit too fast. East side of town. God, I want to say like McRae.
I was gonna say McRae in my head. I swear to God.
40 mile per hour road.
Right.
Guy was going 80. He was driving
Jesus Christ.
like a Talon or something. It was a very fast car. It looked like a Camaro, but it wasn't. Guy runs a stop. Well, he was going to the stop, but apparently someone ran a stop sign in front of him. Dude plows into a van, spins the van around. He hit him so hard, he flew out of the vehicle, but not all the way out of the vehicle, like just outside the door. Vehicle catches fire. He's turning into like a roasted chicken.
No.
He has a gun on him. So all you hear, boom, pow, pew, pew. The bullets inside the vehicle where his gun was is popping off inside. I got there and like people are like giving me like video because they went to try to save him. Because
Right.
like he's like laying there where the fire is, where the car is.
Right.
But like as you get too close to the car, it would burn you.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
The
it was just
heat.
too
Yeah,
hot.
yeah.
Yeah, so
The
he
fucking
just-
raging inferno.
He just
Yeah.
had to cook there on the sidewalk.
And
while
then
he's laying
the
there.
gun went
and
off.
then the bullets are going off
That's
in the
like-
background.
fucking tower defense going off. Like you
Yeah,
can, nobody
dude.
can
that
come
was
here.
like that was like God saying like, yeah, nah, he's mine.
And
Yeah.
that's because he's going 80 miles an hour in a 40 and someone just runs a stop sign.
No.
That's what happened.
I hate when people like honk at me because I'm going like 5 miles over. They're like, go faster. It's like, dude,
It
like,
took us
it
2
doesn't
hours
matter.
to go by to Tonka's that one night.
Dude, I drive safe. I've been in 3 accidents that aren't my fault. And that's why I have like a dash cam and everything now, because I don't trust. It's mainly New Mexico drivers.
Yeah, dude, that's what it is.
You're better off just driving safe. I mean,
Just call an Uber.
Like, why would you want to say that like your whole life ended because you decided to go fast on the freeway
And you go out like
did
that.
something wrong, and you go out that way,
Laying on the ground.
something that like is totally avoidable. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
This guy, he's 19 years old. He is driving on far east side of town. He's trying to get off from like I-10 heading westish just to get off the freeway. Cuts a person off on the access route. Clips him from behind, spins around into a pole. Kid's 19 years old, died.
Jeez.
Driving a Jeep. Mom bought him the vehicle. I go there the next day and I'm talking to this family and I'm like tearing up because it's sad.
Right,
His
it's fucking
girlfriend's
sad,
there.
bro.
She's crying. The mom's crying. The family's there's crying. I'm there to talk to him, ask him questions. How does it make you feel?
Hey, so how do you feel right now?
Kid, the dog's name was Ricky Bobby.
Oh,
He loved to play NASCAR on his PS4.
No.
He was all about racing. He
All
loved
about
driving
that speed.
fast, and he didn't have a driver's license.
I love how I typed in speed limit for this photo right here, and it's literally Texas and New Mexico plates in the shot.
That's like the I-10
That's El
cutoff.
Paso.
That looks
exiting
like get it
to-
on top
yeah,
of like
to Mesa.
I-10 or whatever.
I literally just typed in speed limit.
It's
That's
just
crazy.
so wild. Like the kid never should have been driving. The parents should have known not to get this kid a vehicle.
Right,
He
exactly.
names the dog Ricky Bobby. Like,
What do you think's
what
gonna
do
happen?
you think exactly? You know?
So let's go ahead and give
Lived up to his name.
Misa. Let's give a round of applause for El Paso drivers because y'all suck ass.
No, let's not. Let's
Yeah, give him the boo.
take them. Oh, we need a vaccine passport for driver's license.
Right.
Like
Because you guys are assholes out there, man. I
Yeah.
swear to God, all of y'all, even you, Misa. I know
No,
you
I'm not,
drive like
dude.
an ass.
I don't drive like
You're
an
over
ass.
here complaining about Misa or Wesley going the speed limit, so I know you drive like you're
Dude,
crazy.
it was just Chris and I in the front seat, like just talking
We were
trash
vibing.
about everybody else. Like, why does this truck need 6 extra wheels?
Right.
It's a pickup truck. What are you doing?
What are you
dude?
doing,
What
guy?
are you doing? Let me go to Alamo Draft House with my 6 extra wheels. Oh, am I in your lane because I have extra wheels?
That's hilarious.
I don't mind you going slow. Just don't do it in the fast lane.
Right.
Okay.
No, that,
What you
yeah,
do
that,
slow?
Oh no,
That
yeah,
should
right.
just God
because
bless you.
that is dangerous.
Just
Yeah,
don't-
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
to go
I stay
dangerous in the
far
fast
right.
lane
It's
is
a passing lane.
right. Not
stay
only
far right.
is it
Yeah.
bad for
And
you,
enjoy yourself. Yeah.
you're fucking up everybody else in the
Right, they're
fast
trying to get
lane.
away from you. I don't
And
want to
then-
be behind you. I don't be
right.
near you. You live your
So don't
life
do that.
away from me.
It's called the fast lane for a reason.
And I think
it's a
I
passing
just
lane.
think that people need to be better drivers all around and
Yeah.
just like be more defensive because you never know what's up with these people. So
completely.
right. So with that being said, guys, last sports topic we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into the good stuff here. I don't know if you guys have seen all this speculation, all this fucking arguments about these new Georgia voter laws that were passed recently. And some people would say that they are trying to limit the power of the African community, African American community
That was
to
one.
vote. Right. I was fucking stumbling on
Jesus
myself.
Christ.
Swinging on this. Those
so-
Africans in Georgia. Sound like some of my
I
family in
couldn't leave it
Alabama.
there. So essentially,
Trying to take our jobs. Get our votes.
so yeah, essentially, people are saying that these laws that were recently passed by the state of Georgia are targeting, limiting like African Americans like participation in the voting and the voting system in the state. So what happened was Major League Baseball was supposed to have their All-Star game in Atlanta at the Braves Stadium, which is in Georgia. And what happened was they decided to move the game because of this. They haven't decided on a new location, but I thought this was interesting because,
They made it political, dude.
well, I mean, they made it political because it is political.
Yeah,
like
it is.
what, like
I mean,
what Georgia is doing is political.
Yeah,
Like,
Politics.
like Georgia for the first time, this election election cycle went blue. That shit never happens.
Yeah.
So these guys are over here like, how did that fucking happen? How can we stay red?
It's because everybody was like, guys, we have to make this blue so we can
Right.
get these
So-
certain things
right.
that happen. And
So-
everybody was like, stimmies.
Right.
And,
so
and
these
wouldn't make it
guys
happen.
literally like these the senators and representatives in Georgia, they passed like these voter reform laws that specifically target areas of the African American community to kind of like restrict their ability or the ease of access to vote. You know what I mean?
That's ridiculous.
And so MLB, I mean, obviously, like MLB is not just full of white people. Like there's Hispanics, there's blacks, there's fucking Puerto Ricans, Cubans, like all sorts of people playing in the MLB. They can't just sit by and sit on their hands in this situation.
Can I ask one thing? There's one part of the law that I don't understand. You're not allowed to give food and drinks to people waiting in line to vote.
Right.
Why? What does that do?
Well, to discourage people, that means like if there's a long line, you have to be there with no food, no beverage, whatever, and you're gonna have to wait it out.
It's not discouraging between Democrat or a Republican or a third party or anything.
It's just many people to vote.
They're just limiting the
You weren't
voters.
sure who you were going to vote for, and I'm a Republican guy. I'm like, hey man, here's some water. Let me take a little bit about Donald Trump and what I think he can do for you.
I would understand that.
That's what I think the problem is.
No, if they had like little things where you walk up and
Because they have to be a certain pollsters. They have to be a certain place away from the line.
for example, like I had to go to where was it? It's the park off of Donovan to go vote. It was the fire department there. That's where I went to vote. The White Spur Park. After I was done, they gave me a little baggie and it had like the hand wipe and a bunch of like little finger condom things so I could like put everything in. But why can't they do that when you walk up and get in line? It's just people that work there. It's not anybody.
There's no like people affiliated with like
a political party, and then people still get food and water when the lines are long.
Let the food trucks stay
now that they made this long, like now that the law is made, you can't even do that with a neutral basis. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah. That's dumb because people could give like a sandwich and it has a big sticker that says Republican or Democrat. Right. That's dumb, but I'm talking about a neutral basis, but they've made that impossible now with this law. So people just have to.
But yeah, it was just interesting that MLB like would decide, hey, we're going to move this whole fucking game.
You know the term virtual signaling means?
No.
So if I show you that I'm very much against racism and anybody's discriminating, I'm going to go after them as hard as I can because that's the virtuous thing to do. So I'm going to show you how virtuous I am.
That's what the MLB is doing.
That's the
okay.
I'm not saying that's what they're doing.
Well, it seems like it.
But they're getting ahead of it, I would say.
Not even ahead of it. Just it was like it's like with basketball and football and everything like that. All the politics that they're kind of intruding into the sport. Like my favorite part about sports is there's no politics.
Right,
You know what I mean? It's a game. So when they throw it all in, it takes me out of it. That's what's been killing me with sports lately. I can't do this and like change their names, all these slogans and stuff like that.
I mean, you go, you spent your downtime watching these games and stuff, but hey, you know what? This game's not going on because these guys took it.
Yeah, they want the virtual signal and be all crazy about this.
But I also think part of it too is the MLB getting ahead on like what the PR would be if they still went ahead with an all-star game in Georgia, knowing everything that's going on.
It's like what happened with that whole police brutality.
What does that have to do with
stuff.
baseball though?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with baseball.
What about Atlanta? Don't they want to make that money? There are people there.
Right. No, and so that's what people are arguing is saying, hey, like Atlanta.
To do with the politics.
Right. Atlanta was set to make a lot of money, especially local businesses, local hotels, the whole local economy was going to make a lot of money.
Well, that's why they're doing it. They're trying to kind of hurt the economy because of what's passing.
Right.
They want to do something in their way to push back, and I think that's why they're doing it.
I think it's still kind of dumb. Like saving ass on the PR side, right?
Oh yeah,
I think that's more of what it is like 90 save our ass.
Virtue signaling.
Yeah,
right.
90%
like
is PR stunts and trying to get ahead of the curve.
Right.
You know,
so we're not going to get all crazy into politics, but we just did want to just bring this up because it is interesting. And we are talking sports because we have somebody.
And we're going to see a lot of
very interested in sports.
More of it.
But this is not going to end here.
Yeah.
This isn't the last time this is going to happen. But just so that everybody's aware of like the cultural shifts that are happening in America, like the shit is real and it affects like everybody, even to fucking Major League Baseball. Like nobody is a fucking like above this shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No one is safe.
All right, guys. So let's transition to a lighter note here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I decided to do this little segment, and this isn't an original idea. People have done this segment before.
Yeah, I already found it.
It's called overrated, underrated, or properly rated. And so this morning when I was prepping,
it's overrated, Chris.
Right, when I was prepping the fucking rundown for our boy Will today, I decided, hey, let's put together a little overrated, underrated, properly rated segment. And I have like these 8 I guess, topics, and I'm going to ask you guys to rate them.
I'm in.
And that's going to be it. But it's totally kind of random. I asked our boy Chris Molina for some help on this.
Are we gonna get a little music back there though?
No. We'll add music post-production. But I think we can do it just like this. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go through these topics real fast. You guys tell us what side you're on, overrated, underrated, properly rated, and put it in the comments too on YouTube. I want to see.
Yeah, we want to know what you think about
what's going on.
Topics.
So
and like buttons, push those.
Right, and hit the like button by the way.
And subscribe. And what else?
And subscribe helps. Do that too.
Notification.
We
bell.
can personally feel every time you hit a like button. We can feel it.
An angel gets their wings every time you subscribe and like. Do it for Jesus.
Do it for the kids.
And it was just
3-day respawn, you know?
Yeah.
All right. It was. God damn it. What? Oh man. Okay. So
Gamer
the first one,
words.
guys. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm in. Yeah.
This is the
Amen.
overrated, underrated, properly rated segment. The first one is stopping the gas pump on a perfect dollar amount. What is that, guys? Let's start with Wesley.
Properly rated.
Properly Will.
rated.
I can't ever do it.
Right.
Underrated or overrated. excuse me.
Overrated. Misa.
No, properly rated.
Properly rated. I say it's properly rated too.
Yeah.
It's nice, but what's going to happen if it hits like 2 cents over? Like,
For me,
not the end of the world.
I try and do the math, like because the gas price change. You know, if it's really high, I'm like, oh shit, all right. Once it gets to 30, I should stop. But when it's low as like 25, should be good. You know,
Since prices have changed, I've switched it. So like I'm trying to get the gallons to stop with the 0 after, because to get like 3 gallons, you're gonna have like all these numbers behind.
You know what I hate
So-
though? I hate that like I'll stop like right like a $25 even. And then I start up my car and like it's not even all the way. Fuck.
Yeah.
dude.
A buddy of mine, what he would do is he would always end it on an even number.
Yeah, I have a
so-
friend like that too.
Even over?
OCD.
Jesus.
Even
OCD
like
that
to the
way.
point where if you're watching TV with them and you turn up the volume, it has to land on
38,
a fucking
40 or something.
Yeah, if it's on 35, he's like, turn it up or down.
My
Someone stole his credit card.
Crazy asshole Chris.
Someone stole his credit card, and the way he proved that it wasn't him using that gas is because they ended it on an odd number.
Yeah, and he
And
doesn't do
he
that.
showed you every time I button gas is on an even number.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's how he got it.
Yeah, all right,
Isn't that
so,
wild?
so next topic, guys.
Hey,
All right.
Wes, write that one down, please. Just for me. So, so I can remember
That's
later.
right. I have like paper
Taking
for
it-
hands.
All right, so the second topic I have for you guys is menudo. Is menudo overly rated, underrated, or properly rated? I'm going to say it's overrated.
I say it's properly rated, dude. I love menudo.
I'm going to say properly, but I also like pozole
Right.
Yeah.
because sometimes you just don't want the meat and you just want the spice, you know?
Will, how do you feel about menudo?
I don't know. I felt a little trapped in here. I'm gonna have to get the car started before I say
Oh, you don't like
I said it's
menudo.
overrated, bro. I don't
like
fuck with
menudo.
that shit. I
Crudo
don't.
menudo, no, thank you. I don't want no one's guts in my mouth, especially pig.
I didn't-
Thank
It
you.
tastes slimy
you.
and so gross.
That's why I said pozole. That's why I
no
said pozole.
disrespect, but pozole is so good.
So,
oh
okay,
my God. I
so-
don't like
so it's
tripitas,
the texture?
machitas. Yes.
It's the texture that you
Even
don't
though
like.
give me the meat, fool. Come on, man.
Give me some real meat.
Right?
All right. So yeah,
Not that poor, let's
I
go.
feel-
Give me no stomach.
Well, I
Yeah,
like it just because
exactly.
like I'm too crudo to even chew and shit. So
But
I'm like,
usually when I have
Respect.
menudo, I'm too
Totally.
drunk to even realize.
And the
So I'm
bread that
just
goes
like,
with it. Oh my God.
whatever.
right.
I don't like dipping the bread in the sauce and the base and stuff like that. The
Oh,
juice,
yeah.
but when I taste that Tesla,
yeah, I'm gonna have to get
sorry.
some pozole or menudo after this.
The next topic, guys, is pulling up to a red light, and right when you're about to hit the brakes, the light turns green.
oh, yeah,
That is a fucking underrated feeling right there.
Before you even touch the brakes,
Yeah, like
you took your foot off the
okay.
gas and then it turned green,
uh,
and you're in the front of the line.
right.
That's so
in
weird.
there.
and you're blowing by everybody.
Dude, that's what happened actually when I was
Underrated
getting
feeling for sure.
I have to go change my pants right now, dude. There's some kids swimming in there.
You know what I like to do is I like to roll down the window and then just like say peace to other people that were like at the red light.
No,
So,
the little camera at the top of the traffic light just
Like,
put a little piece like,
hey,
thanks, bro. I
so-
got you.
What's up, TechStot?
So everybody agrees that
Thank
shit
you.
is underrated, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Great
cool.
feeling.
All right. Or the next one is yard work. I'm saying that shit is overrated as fuck. Fuck yard
I
work.
say
I don't know
it's
how
underrated.
people like to go out and do yard work. Fuck
I say
that.
it's under. Yeah, I grew up doing that shit.
I'm gonna say this. basically live in an apartment. So fuck yard work. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's overrated, dude.
Nah, you know what?
I vacuum. That's my yard
dude,
work.
I have like an apartment as well. And I mean, I have a little patio, but that's one thing I want so bad. It's just a yard.
Green.
Yeah.
Green and like, do
wanna
my own
get a
garden
corgi.
and grow my own stuff.
Want to
and,
get a dog? Yeah.
Yeah. I want a corgi, but like, I'm not going to get a corgi without a yard.
So you're gonna have a garden when you have a house.
Oh, dude, yeah, definitely, dude.
Okay,
I'm
I'm gonna hold
What do
you.
you grow?
I'm gonna hold that to you.
My vegetables and like some
His weed.
marijuana probably.
The edible got to him.
Blueberry.
Yeah, some blueberry kush.
What about you, Will? Yard work?
Hey, would that
Overrated?
work? Would that work if I put like, like blueberries and
Maybe
some
in New
weed?
Mexico.
And then like, would they fuse together?
Well,
Yeah,
try
just
it
move
out,
to
dude.
my area,
Just
dude.
try it out.
We'll try it out at your house.
Smoked blueberries.
Yeah, okay,
Let's
mine.
see what happens.
You can't
God,
smoke
it's from God.
You can't
right?
smoke that stuff near like cats. You know, cats
Yeah.
can actually, like, if they get THC inside their system, they can become almost permanently confused because the chemical imbalance inside of them. That's why, like,
He's
I will
making
never,
this up.
No,
Yes,
look
he
it up.
is. He's
Google it.
stumbling too
Google
much.
it.
It's
Google it.
factoid.
I
Yeah,
will
he's
Google
stumbling.
it.
Okay,
I'm
Google it.
Yeah,
Will, how do you feel about yard
I'm
work?
googling it right
Yard
now.
work, kind of in the middle with yard work. It sucks to do. I
Right.
want to be, hungover pushing a lawnmower.
Right.
But when it's done, there's something
It's
like
beautiful.
fresh cut
And it
grass.
smells good, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
but it's nothing but like the feeling that you did it yourself.
yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
it. You got the weed eat it, trim it
You-
up,
you- yeah,
make it look
dude.
beautiful.
Okay, so the next topic is
What about you,
tequila.
Chris? You hate
No, I already said it's
Oh.
fucking overrated. Fuck yard work.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Chris doesn't even go outside.
Yeah, I stay inside in the studio because this is where we are. Anyways, tequila. Underrated.
Tequila fucks me up, so I don't even know what to
That's
say.
why you took a shot before we did this.
Yeah, but that's it. Like one shot and then that's it, dude. Like, that's it.
all right. So Will, tequila.
I do like tequila. I hate to be in the middle. I hate to be a fence setter, but I'm average on tequila. It makes me, get a little too crazy. I like Rumple Mints.
Rumplemans.
I can drink the shit
Rumple
out of some
Mints.
Rumple Mints. Holy shit.
Jesus
Like,
Some
Christ.
Jack Daniels
it's
for
like
me.
Christmas in your mouth. Like I can drink it like water. Yeah, you make a friend.
Wow.
I'm going to change I'm going to change your question real fast for our guest right here. You know
Okay.
what's underrated? Seltzers.
Seltzers, A. I
My
would say
man.
they're properly rated. They're good.
Thank you,
I'm
man.
with
I think
seltzers.
they're
Yeah, man.
way overrated.
Okay, I got two more for you
If
guys.
you're trying to lose
I'm a
weight and like
Budweiser
work
guy.
out and stuff.
I got two
Great.
more for you guys, and then we'll put an end to this segment. This one is Kanye West.
I think it's just.
Wait. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to go ahead and let you finish. But I have to say Kanye West is the most overrated artist on the platform. Go ahead.
I'll say properly
he's
rated.
Properly rated. Yeah, I say
Will?
he's properly rated. I mean,
Properly
he's a
rated.
billionaire, dude. He's a billionaire right now.
I don't care. He's crazy, dude.
Yeah, well, it made him a billionaire.
2-3 kids from
Did you
Kim
see the
Kardashian.
shoes he invented? Jesus.
The-
gonna be
it's what-
one.
The Yeezus. Okay.
His life is set.
Yeah,
Go
Jesus.
home and smoke
Yeah,
weed
he's
all day.
properly rated.
What do you
dude.
think about
Okay.
DMX being in a coma right now?
Oh, that's sad, bro.
Right? What the hell?
Poor guy.
Right.
Like we talked about this on the last pod.
Oh,
like,
what
Did he wake up like? Oh,
like
Need some more crack?
no, he woke up like, huh? No, but I was just saying, like, for the people who grew up in our time, like people even like you who were older when DMX was popping, he was like just
Oh,
as
older.
relevant.
huge,
He's-
man. He was
Like
fucking
older.
huge.
he was just as relevant as like
Of
Nelly,
course.
like Ti, all these other guys. So yeah, I really hope that everything turns out for him because
He did
X gonna
send-
give it to you. You feel me?
I,
Last
think,
one.
I think they'll like send a video or like a picture of him like awake and stuff.
He's
now,
okay.
right?
I hope so.
I do too.
I
He
hope
was
so,
brain
man.
dead though. It sounds
Yeah,
bad.
I don't ever want or wish death
course
upon
not. Anyone.
anybody. So last one,
Yeah.
guys, is having a bachelor's degree overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
Properly rated, I say.
Properly. I would,
Having any type of degree, I think it's good.
I think it's overrated because that's what I was going for.
Right.
And then I learned more than what the school was actually doing just by going on YouTube. And now I created like a business
Right.
from it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Will?
Well, back in the day, like my mother was telling me, a bachelor's degree was like the top. Like you were doing something, you have a bachelor's degree. And
Yeah.
right at the moment, it's like everyone has a bachelor's degree.
Right.
So let's say, God, again, right in the middle. Like, I'm so sorry.
Take a shot. Go
I'm
overrated.
overrated.
There you go.
No,
Overrated.
sorry.
Give him a round of applause.
Thank
for
you.
that.
My
There you go.
bad.
Triple horn.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Anybody
you
going
go.
for a bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
What a loser.
Go get a master's.
Can I just say one of my friends who is a live streamer, but they did get their master's. I've forgotten what. They've been rejected 200 times. And they made a tweet today saying, I officially realized that getting my master's was a waste of my time because I've been rejected for the 200th time.
For what?
I don't remember what it was.
What is this master's in fucking?
It's her.
Like underwater basket.
I think it was an English degree or something like that.
Well, there you go.
Master's in English. Yeah, I mean, but
You
you
speak English already, bro.
we
medieval
speak
literature
English.
from 1480
Yeah,
to
nobody cares about
1502.
Shakespeare anymore. Sorry,
Well,
guys.
I'm sorry if you're watching.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry if you're watching.
Yeah, we didn't mean to
Just
disrespect
kidding.
you like that. All right, guys. So
That's one less subscriber right there.
we're coming up on the 33rd minute here. Let's transition to the back end of the podcast. We're going to do with Mr. Will what we like to do with all our guests,
Oh, hell.
and that's
Assume the
called.
position.
Is it that?
Whoa.
I didn't watch the end of the podcast. What I'm worried about.
Right. No. What we like
That's
to
why
do
we got the
this,
bigger table.
Bring out the gimp.
We like to do this little thing, right? And do you know what time it is, Wesley? Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Wait, let me just check my phone
What time
real
is it?
fast.
Will, do you know
Wait,
what time?
Wait,
You
what
know what
time
time
is
it is? It is.
That's right. It is time for the time favorite 5 random questions here at Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, hosted by your boy Chris Marcus.
All right, guys. So today we have a special guest, Wil Herren, with us. And we are going to do with him what we do with all our guests, and that is ask them 5 random questions. Mr. Wesley, are you ready for this?
Is
Absolutely,
it
Baba
5
Booty.
each or
No. It's
5.
just, they're all for you, brother. They're all
kind of
for
like
you.
what just happened.
Right.
wonderful?
Mr. Misa, are you ready for this?
We take a drink
Always,
first.
always look out for the last one. If it's Chris making them up, I got one with a penguin with a sombrero
Right,
walking
watch
in.
out.
What do you do?
Oh, that was one of the worst questions
And
we've ever.
then the last one was
If you got stuck in a blender.
no. Last one was
That was Johnny
Do
Cage.
dogs can
can
dogs
a dog
have
have
a
a rough
rough
day?
day? A rough day.
I thought that was good.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah,
that?
we all walked out.
But you gotta, the way you ask it, you gotta say, can a dog have a rough day? You know what I'm saying? If you say rough, that should double.
My question was better if a dog can do it missionary style, is it still considered
Right,
doggy style?
That's a good one. Okay. We'll write that one down next time. Okay.
Well,
Misa.
I just asked it.
All right, guys, let's get this going.
If you go in a time machine and suck your own dick, are you gay?
Whoa.
Or is it masturbation?
Look, if
Masturbation.
we're getting into these kind of questions,
Sorry.
if we're getting into this
You
kind of
brought the
questions,
dog.
I got this one, dude. All right. Let's say your girlfriend and your mom switch bodies,
I'm
like
in.
that Freaky Friday kind of shit.
Right.
Oh, I've
And
heard
then-
this.
You had to fuck one of them to bring them back. Which one would you do?
So you have to do your mom with your girlfriend in
her body.
soul is in your mom's
Or
body.
you do your girlfriend with your mom and her body.
I move on.
This is completely disturbing.
Anyways, next.
Yeah, next.
I pull out the
Question number
revolver.
1. All right, Mr. Will. I wish I turn it down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Will, is a shower after a haircut one of the best feelings ever?
It is fantastic feeling.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, we get our haircuts for free.
Right.
I just like that. We get we have appointments for our haircuts.
Oh,
exactly.
nice.
And so they wash your hair afterwards.
Oh, I bet that fucking slaps.
Dude, I get my haircuts for free too, but it's at the mall and it's at Academy like school. And then so they have like this one kid like teaching, and it's like an hour and a half for like just the sides. I don't even cut the top off.
But you don't pay anything.
But then but then they start washing my hair and stuff.
It'll
and-
grow back.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I feel like a shower after a haircut is probably one of the best feelings in the world. I would say it's underrated, honestly. So, how about
Worst feeling in the world? Taking a shower and then having to poop.
that? Oh, yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
No. You know, the hobbits have second breakfast. That's called a second shower. So
Spray off.
All right, so question number 2. Let's get some music here. Question number 2 of the 5 random questions. Are you guys ready for this?
no.
Mr. Will? Okay,
ready.
question number 2, Mr. Will. Would you ever attempt to climb Mount Everest?
That is a very random question. What the hell? Let's do it.
yeah.
Let's take a walk.
Take a 30 of Bud
You
Light
know what?
with you.
Honestly, I'd be very scared. Mostly because I have kids. You know, but if I didn't have kids, like without a doubt, I'll try it. But it's just because it's so dangerous.
Right.
I wouldn't do it because
I wouldn't do it
first
either.
of all, there's so many dead bodies that are left there. Like if you
Right.
die there, they don't take you down.
Some of the bodies are used as landmarks.
Yeah,
so
they're
you know
used
where
as-
you're going.
Yeah, and there's a documentary out there that so many people have
Like,
been
yeah,
climbing.
we gotta reach up to Chris, and then once we
true.
get to Chris,
Take a
we'll move
left
up
and
to
west.
Misa.
The guy in the blue jacket that's dead. That's where you got to hang a left.
And then once you pass Will,
But-
then you're on your own.
But no,
I got a
like
bottle in my hand. He went out the way he wanted to go.
With the okay
It was super
sign. The other reason I wouldn't do it is because there's a documentary. There's so many people doing it that it's littering.
Yeah, it's trash.
There's so much trash.
Yeah.
I mean, the people at the base, they're making so much money.
But not just that, the line to get there, which makes it dangerous.
It's not
too.
even
The
gorgeous
taxes
anymore.
involved.
It's just like you just see trash everywhere while you're going up. It like,
So I guess it's no, right? You would have go,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck that.
I wouldn't.
Well, he
I'm down
would
with
if
adventure.
like under ideal situations he
Yeah.
would go, but
Yeah, like
I
in a
wouldn't.
car.
I'm saying like
Drive
current status, no way.
Drive up Mount Everest.
Get these strippers out of my way.
Side note,
Helicopter.
I did sign up with that Japanese billionaire to be one of the people that go around the moon on that first thing. I'm hoping I get picked because he's paying for everything.
We'll do a segment with Wes from space.
Oh, dude,
about
that would be so
That'd
sick.
be crazy.
I produced
Best
from
podcast
space.
ever.
All right, question number 3. Mr. Will, if you're watching a movie, you're having a good time and you're excited about the movie, what is your favorite snack to eat while watching the movie?
Hey,
Oh wow! Anything that I can catch. I like so I don't really like going to the movies to watch the movies, but the popcorn.
Oh, man.
I'm a double layer guy.
Oh.
Like I'll have them like stop it halfway, and I'll put some butter,
some
in there,
butter
put a
on
lot of
there.
butter in there.
Right.
Have fill it back
Fill
up,
up the
put
rest.
more butter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how we
Hell
do that.
yeah, dude.
So
hell yeah.
Yeah,
What about you,
like-
Chris? What about you?
I don't watch movies very often, but I do enjoy popcorn, but I like Louisiana hot sauce on that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
gotta
you
do
don't
that.
You got to
do?
shake it up once you put it on the top.
Yeah. You shake that hoe, get it all
Mhm.
dispersed evenly.
I got
Amazing.
shit house at a UTEP football game one time. So I got some popcorn and I was like, it'll be good on this nacho cheese.
Ooh, how was that?
It's
No?
not.
No.
Like it makes the popcorn very soggy.
Right.
And this little thing in your hands are all covered in nachos,
Yeah.
all my face and shit.
Well, that's when you have
terrible
to,
idea.
you have to do the chameleon. You have to bring the box up and just like Yoshi or something.
Just eat it with your tongue and shit.
because it'll
Yes.
stick straight to it like a fly to a tongue.
Misa,
Like,
what's your favorite movie snack, Misa?
Dude, when I go to the movies, yeah, popcorn is one, but I just love nachos. Just nachos with a shit ton of jalapenos. Watching the movies, just I don't even look down. It's just,
Just
like
fucking,
grab and then
Happy. Good.
just like that.
Yeah,
I can
dude,
hear it
just
right
like that.
now. Hell yeah. Okay, so question number 4.
We're getting there.
If you saw someone run over a person, would you chase down the driver, Mr. Will? Or are you just like, hey, I'm my problem, man?
or are you helping the injured person?
There are a lot of factors to this.
Right. You got to be careful here.
Have I been drinking?
No.
Okay. Then yes, I
Okay.
get out and I try to help.
Right. If you had been drinking, you sit your ass there and you go home and do something.
I will.
You
send
call
an
911?
email. I will call 911.
Send an urgent email,
I'll
a
write
strongly
a
worded
shit.
email.
it's called
Come
Crime
on.
Stoppers. You know.
Yeah, I let them know what's going on. That's a tough. Well, so like,
Yeah.
now what do? Do you help the person, or do you go after the bad guy?
I say you help the person because the
That's
bad guy,
first.
they can fucking track them down. That's the police's job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Smart.
can give like aid, like render aid, like immediately, that's probably the best thing. Unless the person's completely.
Well,
fucked
yeah.
with it.
What I was gonna say is like I think for me it would be like if it's just like a little hit and run or something like not too
No,
bad.
this is somebody
Oh,
getting
it's-
ran over.
Oh, like ran
okay.
over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
If somebody gets ran over, like,
Yeah.
Well,
Airborne.
if somebody gets
Yeah.
ran over, then I'm like, yo, it's probably like a better chance for me to try and chase this guy down
Yeah.
than to like save him because I don't even know CPR.
So with me,
it's not even render aid, just
person.
fucking let
I might
them.
have coronavirus.
I should be like, I'll roll down my window, be like, I'll be right back. And then,
Good luck.
I'll come back for you.
I'll be right back. Stay there.
Person
Stay
thought-
there.
Don't go anywhere. I swear to God.
you
But
should
no.
have enough jaywalked. Aye, aye.
But for,
What you learn?
but for me,
you learn?
But for me, this is kind of a callback because I said I had a dash cam. So I would honk my horn the entire time and bring out any neighbors or anybody and just get attention where they would see that and drive after the person, start calling because I have Bluetooth for like
Right.
phone. So I can, pay
Siri.
attention to it. But even if like they got away, my dash cam would get their
Right.
their
Get their
license
info.
number and everything
Right.
like that. So at least we would have justice.
Right.
And then somebody hopefully hearing my horn outside would be able to go help because
Nice.
I'm with you. I don't know how to do a lot of
Why
There's
is
this.
no hit and runs in El Paso.
Yeah,
so.
he thought this all out Very well. Good job, Wesley.
Wait a minute, Wesley. Have you ever?
Have you done this before?
No.
You know what I picture? I
would do.
picture Wes like him seeing it and like he just stops and like thinks about it and he starts writing notes and like do like
You just start
a
a live stream.
mathematical equation and then he's all like, yeah, I'm not helping.
I do
I
that.
just leave.
Yeah.
I do that thing where like I start thinking of situations that I'll never be involved in whatsoever, and come up with the situations in my head, and then like be the hero, and then they'll never happen.
Right.
But this is one of the times where
just in
the
case.
question came into play, and I'm like, I got this.
All right,
Like it,
guys.
Wesley.
I mean, if I was driving
last-
with somebody, let's say I was driving with Chris, I'd tell Chris like, yo, go help him. Let me get this guy.
He's like, no, I'm going to get Tatanka's.
I'll be like, hold on. What about the Tatanka order? Hold on. Let's go there first. Bring me back. I got you. All right. Last
Chris,
question.
that's
guys.
What's
Didn't
the
you want
Tonka?
something?
Is that buffalo?
You've never had the Tatanka before?
No.
From Steak
Yeah,
Pitos?
don't do it, bro. Waste of time.
Remember Steak Pitos?
Yeah, it's in the mall.
Right. The Tatanka sandwich.
There's
The buffalo chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay.
You've had it before.
no.
Yeah, of course, man. Come
Do they
on.
sell steak Pitos?
Yeah, on the east side.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
there
Yeah, on
is.
the east side.
Misa hates. No, he hates steak. Pitos.
Okay,
He's a
there's
loser.
only one left.
Yeah, he's a loser.
That's how bad it is.
But
There's
Jersey
only one
Mike's
left.
has one. Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, you
has
can get a
exactly the same thing.
Tatanka replicate or duplicate at fucking Jersey Mike's. Okay.
That one's probably even better if you want to try that
We
one.
got the last
Yes,
question.
last question, Misa. Let me get some music real fast. Mr. Will.
You gotta stop calling me Mr. Will. I'm just Will.
No,
Please.
you're a mister, man.
I get Mr. Will and TV's Wil Herren.
Hey, come on,
Okay,
dude. You
TV's
graduated in
Wil Herren.
1997.
Hit him.
All right, last question, and then we'll wrap up the podcast. How many tacos / pizza slices can you take down in one sitting?
Oh, I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for this.
So yeah, it's up to you. Are you filling the tacos? Are you filling the pizza that day? And how many of them are you fucking smashing out?
I have the
wow.
exact answer for this too.
So I hate to admit this. I'm not proud, but I polished off a 20-pack of Taco Bell.
Woo!
Dude,
That's-
Hey, you're my boy, bro.
tacos are from Jesus.
Yes, they are.
from
100%.
Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Favorite kind of taco?
I love just the regular fucking ground beef taco.
Little
like,
Shack.
Barbacoa tacos.
Little Shack
Little
steak
Shack.
tacos.
What kind of
slap.
taco though?
Oh, steak for sure.
Birria.
Birria? Yeah, those
Oh
are good.
Lord
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Birria tacos will put you on your.
Isn't
boomer.
that sometime like it's like
Oh.
lamb meat or something?
Dude,
No,
sometimes
it's like
sometimes when I bite into one of those, dude, it's like I can't believe it. And now
No
it's just
what they do? It's like brisket, and they have this
Right.
red
Oh yeah,
sauce.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Like,
Yes.
put it on the
Yes,
taco,
sir.
And then what they'll do
And then
is
you dip
they'll
it
make
in
a
the hoe.
quesadilla
Right.
out of it. Yeah, the comer
Yeah.
that falls off of it. And they'll just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
scoop that for you, and then you dip that into the taco. It's like quesadilla taco with the birria
Yep.
in it.
fucking
Oh,
diabetes, bro.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it.
Yeah, diabetes.
Yes, sir. Wesley, what's your answer to this question?
Best.
So I'm gonna answer both of them because I have the exact answer.
All right, do it.
Taco Bell, 24 tacos.
Mm.
Bada bing. Hard shell. I'm sorry to say.
2 dozen.
Yeah, 2 dozen. They used to sell like the big boxes
Packs.
of them.
The party
Yeah,
packs.
pack.
Pizza. I have finished 2.5 extra large Peter Piper pizzas
God.
on
damn.
stream, and I didn't even realize it.
Fat ass.
And I was hungry 10 minutes later
Wow.
and reheated more of it.
All right, Missy, you got an answer to this?
I have
Dude,
a, I have a
the-
tapeworm.
The most that I've done with tacos is
Fake leg.
probably like 9-10 tacos, but it's a carne asada. Just like full
Oh,
big ass
fantastic.
tacos with just everything, avocado and lettuce,
Yeah.
tomato, everything.
What about barbacoa with the pina?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Favorite
Where
place
we,
you talk-
where we gonna eat after this?
Tancos?
I don't know, man. Little Shack goes so hard.
Yeah, it does.
Little Shack is fucking good. And even the Riviera right here. If you get
Yeah.
those
I hate
traditional fucking Mexican style tacos there.
What about you, Chris? How many?
I would probably say like pizza wise, I could probably take down like 5 or 6 slices if
I
I'm
could-
super hungry.
I could take down
I
like
could kill
an 8.
pizza.
But I feel like with
8 slices.
tacos,
Oh, yeah.
I could probably smash like a dozen if I really wanted to.
I'd be
because
so
I
d-
love tacos.
I'd be so down to do that.
And
And
then-
like bring 3 pizzas in. You guys do a podcast, and I'll finish all 3 pizzas before
Right.
you get to the halfway.
And
mark.
then like with
Right
a good
there.
Mexican taco, like one bite's half, the other one gone. That's it. You know what I mean? You can dispose so fast.
I'm like the Japanese guy from that has a world record of like
Kobayashi.
eating hot
Yeah,
dogs.
Kobayashi. Yes, sir.
It's like I
That guy
don't
is
look
disgusting.
huge or anything, but I'm just like it just never ends. Like I can eat nonstop. I don't know what it is, but I just love food.
All right, guys. So that was 5 random questions with our boy Wil Herren here.
I like it.
We're gonna get ready
Yeah.
to wrap up the podcast. We're gonna go around the studio here, get everybody's final thoughts on today's episode, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's start off with Wesley. Final thoughts on today's episode, Wes?
I'm apologizing for getting way lost in conversation.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
No. I had a lot of fun.
You said you weren't going to talk.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
What the hell?
Okay, I'll stop talking.
Shut the hell up. This must be my episode. Wesley's like, I'm going to take it over. The producer now is the star. What the hell?
Wes is just used to being the only white guy in here.
It's okay, man. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Yeah, other buddies. There we go.
Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast.
Mayo squad. I'm just kidding. I hate Mayo.
Bringing white people together in El Paso. That is
I
what
was
we
scared
do.
knocking on the door.
We
I was
got
like,
we got all 76% of the white population here right now. This place is not crack lacking. But yeah,
30%.
But yeah, final thoughts. What?
a lot of fun, as you just saw with that exchange. Don't appreciate the bullying, but it's okay. I get paid with I got paid with beer today, so that's more than I was getting paid
And our
last
friendship.
time. Like I said, I got paid with beer today.
Well, he hasn't got to pay with our friendship yet.
That's just hilarious. All right, Misa,
next
final thoughts on today's episode.
Yes, man. First off, Wes, dude, I know you said you were going to talk, but I'm glad you did, bro.
Thank
So it's
you.
a good
Thank
one,
you.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, you know, we always get some really good guests. And Will, man, dude, your story is interesting, man.
We only got halfway through, man. We got a lot more to go.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dude.
You're cutting me off.
This is
bullshit.
actually like
Talk to Ace.
We need a part two. Part
Yeah.
two?
Okay. If you guys want to do part two, we can do
yeah,
part two.
dude.
Talk to Ace.
Who knows? We'll go
I mean,
hard.
dude. I mean, if
be
we're gonna
food
do a
next
part
time.
two, I better get paid for it because it's gonna go
Rumplemans.
like 4 hours for
Hated
sure.
food.
But no, man, I just want to say thanks, bro. Thanks for giving us your time. Man, I didn't know all you know that you've done from being in the military and going to college twice and doing all this shit. And
I'm a failure.
graduated from Franklin that I went to. And I just wanted to say, dude, thanks a lot, man.
Oh, but thank you.
Right off the bat, dude, this guy shows off like he showed up like if there was a murder scene here and like at his in his work
About
vehicle.
Yeah.
It's like ABC 7 News. And I was like, yo, dude, holy shit.
I drove my
Cool.
personal vehicle. What are you talking about?
He's doing a Chris Hansen thing right now. He's about to ask us to have a seat.
But thanks again, man. Thank you very much. It was a good one. Everybody listening, guys, thank you again. Make sure you guys stay safe and stay fresh.
Hey, there you go. Hell yeah, Mr. Wil Herren. And I'm
Just
gonna call
Will.
you. I'm calling you Mister
Okay.
because
Hit him.
I was
Hit him.
raised to respect my
That's the
elders.
easy killer. Not that
Anyways, okay.
Pathetic loser.
I've been called worse by
Our
better.
buddy Will.
That's better.
What are your final thoughts on today's podcast today?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. I love local. I love what you guys do. These are my roots. Podcast.
Hell yeah.
I've been at these tables before, and I like your setup, like what you're doing. Bringing Chico out in the spotlight. That's badass. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what we're here to
I'm
do.
glad I could be here, and I can't thank you enough. And I hate to do this on like a sad note, but we really do got to think about something right now. And
Go for it.
Just do it, Will.
Do it.
Aaron Jones' father passed away today
Yeah.
suddenly, and that's absolutely terrible. It's bad. It's very sad for his family. He's a great man. I'm sure, Aaron, of course, is devastated. The whole family, all of them are just broken apart, and reading their Instagram messages and what they posted on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. I lost my father too, so I know that feeling, and it's the absolute worst. There's nothing worse than losing your father, and he was a good one. And he did a lot for the community, not just for his family, for the people that he's around. He brought people up that were low. And he didn't come from much himself. And do what he did and to raise his children properly and to be able to see his kids succeed the way they did.
Right.
It is sad that he is gone, but he isn't gone. And like Aaron said, he is getting the best seat at every game that Aaron plays at.
Yeah.
So again,
He was a great man.
sorry for going, to the sadness, but just, you gotta
Right.
shout out
It's a
to
very
Aaron.
important thing to talk about today,
Shout out to
especially
Showtime.
since it broke the day that we are recording this. And
Yeah.
obviously our condolences to the Jones family. We can't like express how sorry we are for the situation and having to feel that way. And I told you this off air, Will.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about it, like to see your son play at that level and to play like professionally and to exceed and to actually like earn like a badass NFL contract But all of it is like is because of his hard work.
Well.
All of it is because of he earned it, his hard work, dedication. But this guy, Aaron Jones from El Paso, his brother Alvin too, like great football players. But they like Aaron got to the fucking pinnacle of what you would want to be as an athlete, like playing with the Packers, playing against the Dallas Cowboys in their stadium and fucking tearing them up, like
playing well
and playing fucking well, man. Like that shit is not easy. And like, obviously
making it to the highest level,
right? You're at the highest level, playing with the best of the best. Like that.
How many
shit
people now
is
think
crazy.
they can do that because they see him?
Right. Like he sets
the big thing.
He sets the tone and saying, look,
Yeah.
like if you're in El Paso, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can fucking do something. You just need to fucking work your ass off. That's it.
Exactly.
And so that's what his whole career
His father
embodies.
instilled that in him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, obviously it's a very sad, terrible fucking story, but
We had to say it.
we had to bring it up. And, thank you, Mr. Will, for being on today. Like
Absolutely.
we reached
Thank
out
you
to you
guys.
kind of last minute and like we put it together really fast, but I think this was a good podcast. And I knew it wasn't going to be crazy because you're in media. And so it's easy for you guys. Once we bring you on here, like you guys become comfortable and you just become yourself, and it makes for a great podcast. So
I know what it's like to be a podcaster, try to get people on my podcast.
Yeah.
I remember reaching out to AB Hahn,
Right.
Jimmy Hahn.
It's
reaching out to
tough, dude. I
people,
mean-
fighting with UTEP to try to get it. And you know what pisses me off? UTEP now has their Picks Up podcast.
Yeah.
Those little punks gave us the hardest time in like 2014 to try to get these athletes, try to get these players.
Right, dude.
They want to give us the time of day. They go, here, use the rifle team.
Right.
Here's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fine.
You're like, dude, we're here for like the athletes that are fucking popular, the ones that are playing the sports that
and now
matter
they have
to
their
the
own
universe.
podcast. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
should have the podcast. They shouldn't have one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we'll take over their podcast.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I agree, though, right? I mean,
Right. So, Mr. Will, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Like we said, we have an open invitation for you anytime you want to
Don't
come back
say
on
that. I
and
won't
do this
leave.
again. No, let's do it, man. I
Yeah,
mean, we
dude.
really enjoy
is
talking
fun.
to people.
Salute.
Cheers to
There's
everybody.
nothing left, but
Last one, guys.
Cheers.
With all that being said, final thoughts today. Wesley, thank you for stepping in the producer chair. Will, thank you for spending your time with us. We really do appreciate it. Can't thank you enough for that. Misa, another good episode, brother. With all that being said, guys, episode 70, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page,
Do it.
Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and a review. With all that being said, guys, we are...
Yeah.